don't have to listen to it.
Yeah. I just mute the tab. Because I forget every single time to mute the video playback.
Well, sometimes because I don't have any kind of ad block or anything like that on Chrome, because I don't use Chrome. Like fucking usually it just boots up with an ad that starts blaring. It's like, oh god, ad. That's what it's done the last few times. Fuck you, Cam. Oh, it's so frustrating to look at. Like,
Yep.
I think, yeah, everybody else's are fine. God damn it. Whatever. Lawaj is in here. I feel like somebody's... Oh, Bones isn't in here.
I'm here. I'm just eating. I'm gonna be there in about 2 minutes.
Maybe next week someone else's camera will turn to shit.
Yeah. Maybe somebody else this time. I don't want it to be me again. Yeah. I guess there's nothing I can do about it. Weird. It has to be on the Roll20's end because of the fact that, like, I rebooted, reloaded, like, rebooted my cam. Like,
New message from Pyro. I'll be late, but I can make it.
Ooh, we might actually have a full group this time.
Holy shit.
That hasn't
Whack is
happened
here, I
since
think we will.
episode 1.
Has it really been that long?
Well, Waj was here episode 2, but he got disconnected halfway through, so he wasn't here for like half the session anyway.
True.
We'll open Pyro's character sheet in case I need it. Oh, pause the stream. I don't need to be watching my own fucking stream. Can you not? I thought you could stretch the chat window wider. Maybe
On Roll20?
no, on Twitch.
Oh.
You can, you just gotta pop it out.
Oh yeah, if you pop it out. I thought like you could actually do it windowed as well, or like just normal. But
no. There's just that little arrow that's like open or close.
Yeah. Maybe there used to be. Maybe that's what I'm remembering. Maybe it used to be a thing and they just got rid of it when they streamlined everything. Well, no time like the present. What do we got here? Well, there was no wacky last week, so Jez, Lawaj, Dado, or Bones.
Notes here.
Let's do it this way. It'd be one's Jez, two's Lawaj, three's Dado, Bones is 4. Roll 1.
It's me again.
Can I have disadvantage?
Dado! So previously on Dungeons and Dragons, what happened, Dado?
We were in the Tomb of the Exile, and we found like a secret doorway that we didn't need to hint for, fortunately, even though we still ended up going to that room in the first place and got cursed and everything.
And Jez almost died.
Yeah, and then I took a nap, and then I was like, I know how to fix you, and then I did.
You totally just jumped through 90% of the session.
I'm going back. Jesus. So we found the thing. We answered the dude's riddle, which Jez was just like, it's a trick question, and he said the word "you" because it was riddle was.
It was language. Or
yeah, angry.
It was tongue.
GRY, yeah, and words that end in GRY, and so we got the thing, and we gave it to Gadrin, and he invited us to his flying ship thing because he needed the thing that we got so that he could power his flying ship, and now we're on the flying ship for a few days when we go to Algadrazan.
Albridge, but
Albridge.
Algadrazan was a word that was used in last session, so I'll give you points for that.
I knew
That
it
was
was
the
AL.
name.
That's the only.
That was
reason I
the
said
name
it.
Was
of
that
the
the Lich?
guy
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Oh, that was
exiled
the name of the guy.
Netherese who was entombed. That was his
Close
name.
enough.
Yeah, close enough. I'll give you 100 XP
I
each.
I saw the AL and I was like, I know it was AL. I just didn't write down the name of the.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Going to Alabama.
Oh, God.
This feels like an appropriate amount of dice, probably. Oh, I gotta get rid of these gray dice that I
It
can't
falls out of
fucking
the
see.
air and roll 20d6.
You roll 20d6. I don't cap falling damage. I don't care what the
Yeah, but
rules say. I'll make you roll
we rolled
7,000
200 feet
d6
up.
if I have to.
We only got 200 feet off the ground.
Alright, so you guys are sailing across in the wild blue yonder. I have to... this entire session, I'm going to be trying desperately to not look at my cam because the horrible frame rate, like catching it in the corner of my eye, just makes me angry.
Yeah.
It just bugs me, so... You guys, you started in Tribor, up here. And so, you guys get through the first day of your journey. It's pretty much what you'd expect. You guys hang out on the ship. You know, Gadrin spends most of the day, you know, steering. The ship kind of takes care of itself. You know, there's cabins down below for you guys to sleep in. There's lots of provisions. There's like a little kitchen, mess hall to like make food. Yeah, it's not really any different than any sea voyage you've ever been on, except if somebody falls overboard, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be big problem, big problem. So you guys keep making your way down. It's about midday of the second day. And, you know, some of you are probably, like, below deck. Or, I guess, midday, where would you all be? Like, what would you be all doing? And, like, sort of where in the ship do you think you'd be?
Well,
I'm on the bow enjoying the view because it's awesome.
I'd be below deck.
I'll probably be doing what I would be doing the first day. I wanted to take apart one of the guns and detail each part in a journal.
I'd
just be
below deck, like reading
So you'd be probably sitting there at the table with Dusty. Pyro... I don't know.
I'm gonna hang out over here.
Let's roll to see if Pyro's afraid of heights.
I can go hang out with Pyro.
Good job. That's now one of your character traits.
Yeah. It's like you attended the session late. You now have a like horrible fear of heights. If you are more than 10 feet off the ground, you have disadvantage on everything.
Yikes.
Yeah, Pyro would probably be. So,
What is... Oh, yeah, experiment. I was gonna say, what is his background? Maybe he's used to ships.
So, it's about midday, and you guys are all kind of milling about doing your thing, and you hear Gadrin call out, it's like, look lively, gents, we've got trouble. And Bones and Wacky, give me perception check.
Alright.
I am really good at those.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at those. Character sheet, open up.
Oh shit, okay.
Oh, do you even need mine? Do it anyways, there you go.
There you go.
But I know
There you
it's
go.
I know
Oh,
open up
shit.
there.
So, Bones...
Really see. It's because we're high up, we can really see it.
Yeah, so you
I'm
guys...
out of the way now.
Yeah, you guys
Other-
have no problem seeing these flapping shapes. Kind of look like birds that seem to be like coming towards the ship through the clouds. Because so you see a sort of gaggle of these sort of women, half bird-looking things that seem to be flocking towards the ship. Because you guys both are kind of at either end of the ship, and you did so well on your perception checks, when we roll initiative, I'm going to give everybody essentially a surprise round on them before we actually start initiative, since you saw them coming from so far off. So, you guys see them coming, and you basically tell Gadrin so that he can yell down to everybody else. But there's big ladybirds are kind of, flocking towards the ship, and they don't seem to have the best intent. So I would like everybody to roll initiative.
All right.
Crispy 4.
Totally.
There it is. Beep. Oh yeah. We are over land right now. Is that correct?
Yes, but
Eventually.
yeah, you are over land, but yeah, you're like a couple of miles
It
up.
wouldn't matter because even if we were over water, you'd still hit like a brick wall. But
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
No, falling off the ship is death.
Okay.
I think
don't
even
worry
if you
about
fell
that.
off, you'd fall so far that you'd want to wait until you get close to the end before you feather fall.
Oops.
Yeah, some of us might
Where's
be
my
able to
initiative?
survive.
initiative. Wow,
I have
Pyro
snowballs,
did
Mom.
pretty
Does
good.
that count?
Harpies are going to be at a 14.
I'll just reduce the 300 damage by 20.
Yep.
300 damage. That's very light.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's probably being generous. It's probably more like 5,000.
Why can't you do it in metric? That way we know exactly how many feet 2 miles is.
Well, you're probably like, 1,000, 1,500 feet up. Like you're a good way up. You're like 100 to 150 d6 up off the ground.
It'd be pretty cold up
2
here.
miles in feet.
Yeah. Well, you're pretty
Oh.
high up.
2 miles is 10,000 feet.
So
105.
So
yeah, I guess
we'll
that
just
makes
go.
sense.
We'll go in order, in initiative order. But you guys are going to get a whole free round before the harpies can do anything,
Cool.
because you had Bones and Wacky were able to warn you guys, like seeing them coming from like a long ways off.
Christ.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah. So that's about how much damage you're going to take if you hit the ground. So you'll be fine.
Oh, I'm dying.
I killed the
Okay.
chat.
Cool. Guess I'm first.
What in the fuck?
I was seeing
Alright.
how much falling damage that would have been if we fell off
First
right
question. Do these bows actually do anything?
Yes, there are mounted They're essentially like heavy crossbows.
Okay.
But yeah, they do. I have a player's handbook somewhere. We'll say that they can shoot out to. They have an effective range of. Because these things are more like ballistas than anything else. I'm going to say that this is like something I thought of, but then didn't actually like look up what it was gonna do. There's my light. Where's my? Yeah, so they'll do 1d10 damage. They'll basically run off of your dex,
Okay.
just like a regular crossbow would. Every single one of them has a 90-degree cone, essentially. Like they don't swivel all the way.
Okay.
So each one can only go like a 90-degree cone in front of it.
By the way, I already lost everyone in the camps.
Yeah, Jazz is gone. Rip.
So yeah. And then there's 2 up the back corners. So yeah, they can basically pivot. Oh, you know what? I'll say that they can pivot kind of anything in front of them. You cannot spin it around, because obviously that would put you outside the ship to fire it. But fuck
Yeah.
it. Just for simplicity, I'll say that you can hit anything
Anything on
outside
port
the
starboard
ship.
side, basically.
Yeah. But yeah, so you can man them, use an action to use it. If you have multiple attacks, these do have loading, so you cannot make more than one attack with it on your turn. They do have an effective range of, like, what's a regular crossbow? Regular crossbows, 100 feet. Yeah, so these things are essentially heavy crossbows mounted. So yeah, you can easily get at least 100 feet of range out of these things.
So they'll use my dex mod, but obviously I don't believe I'm proficient in crossbows, so I don't get to add a proficiency bonus.
I will allow you guys to use the proficiency bonus just because of the fact that these are mounted, like a turret.
Okay.
That'll be sort of the difference between using them and using one by hand. It's because these things are mounted, they're a lot easier to aim. So yes, you can use your proficiency bonus to fire these things.
Fun! Well, let's do this thing. So let's see here. Mine. 7. Okay. Alright. So, first thing I'm going to do is, obviously I'm going to call out and warn the crew. And then I'll tell Wacky I'll take the port side if she goes starboard. I run over here. And I'm going to shoot... Oh, nope, hang on. That bird right there. So, here we go. 16.
That's probably a hit. Where's my harpy? Where's my harpy block? There's my harpy block. Yep, that's it.
And it's a D10, you say, plus Dex mod?
Yeah, so D10 plus Dex plus... Yeah, D10 plus Dex.
Okay. Roll it. Nice.
So yeah, you fire a large bolt just like through the leg of one of these harpies, and she kind of... You see her just kind of like falter in the air and drop like a few feet from the impact. But she's definitely still alive. What was that? Oh, 14.
You the only one chugging for me, or everybody else hear that?
No, I heard it.
So, that takes us to... Pyro.
Oh.
Oh, he heard
Ooh,
the thing. Yeah. Yeah. And he's gonna have enough.
Get on
He's gonna-
deck.
Yeah, he's gonna get on deck. And... He does not possess any kind of ranged thing, so he's just gonna double move and run for a crossbow. Lodge. Oh, who ended up with the fancy bow? Yeah, the fancy bow, by the way. Just so we actually know that.
I have it, but I was gonna talk to Lodge for a second. But
Oh.
I guess we kind of skipped over it.
I mean, I don't have it, so it ain't my
I'll-
problem.
I was gonna say, I'll
Dusty's
trade
got
you
the battle axe now.
I'll trade you the bow for the dagger.
Ironically, I
Oh,
could
sure.
technically use it, but
You
I'm not
want to
going
have the
to.
dagger?
Same.
So yeah, you can have the bow. I'll take the dagger. We'll figure we did that yesterday.
Yep. Yeah, that's fine, yeah. Whoever has the bow is attuned to the bow, we'll say. Like, 'cause that's something I assume you guys would have sorted out, like, before you even got on the ship, essentially.
Yeah.
Well,
He uses range mostly, anyways.
I'll go upstairs then,
Oh, Pyro's at 36. 36 of 26 HP.
and then see. Oh shit, it's a harpy. And because I don't have it set up, I'll
Harpies.
use my regular bow.
I'm sorry. Every time someone says harpies,
Yeah, that'll definitely hit.
Why are we rolling so well now? I'm scared.
Don't worry, it won't last.
So,
it
Yeah.
is a short bow, so it would be 1d6 damage. But
yeah. So
I
basically...
set it up. This was just my long bow.
Yeah, it's fair. It's pretty much fair because he would have got +1 damage,
yeah,
and he's rolling a
It
1d8,
averages
so it kind of all works
It really
out.
does average out.
So yep,
Literally.
you
Yeah,
nail
it
the
literally
harpy.
does.
It's too bad you weren't one of the like fancy kinds of rogues that get advantage for shit like that. The harpies don't get to go. Jez.
I'll tell Dusty not to touch anything.
We should have rolled to see if Dusty was asleep.
I said I was reading a book. That's what I said.
Yeah, but I'm sure you fall asleep most of the time that you're reading
Okay,
books.
so 9 feet to get up there.
Like an old
Trick
man
is
wizard.
there.
Old
Is it
school
like
Zelda ladder
another-
climbing sound.
another 10 feet to get up the ladder?
Yes.
It won't matter. And then I'll get off of the area. For another 10 feet. Draw my bow, and I will aim for this dude.
Okay. Spreading the damage around. I like it.
Called keeping the sides clear.
So yeah, you nail that harpy. Arrow goes right into her. She seems unperturbed by it. Takes us to Wacky.
I'm gonna shoot at the one that Lawaj shot at. And now I can do this.
Cool.
Then I'm gonna move you.
Both of those are actually going to hit.
Oh,
And-
Jesus, okay.
Well, it's a naked woman with wings.
Fair enough.
It's not. She's not particularly. She's not even like not armored. She's not clothed.
Sassiness is her armor.
Yeah. Dusty.
Boy, Dusty. That's my dog, not you.
What's he yelling about? I'll touch his gun all I want. What's going on up
You
here?
can just make some lunch instead.
Jesus.
And just, what do you all want? What is it?
Oh my
Oh.
god.
My dog's
Dust-
name is Dusty, ironically.
Dusty says Dusty's taking too long.
Every time I say Dusty, he looks at me like, huh?
Dusty comes out onto the deck and fucking there's like dog noises coming from these like winged women that are flying around.
That doesn't seem like the noise they would normally make, but okay, I'm not gonna discriminate. I'm gonna shoot that one over there.
You're not gonna discriminate, you'll just kill him.
Which one are you shooting at?
This one.
Oh, okay. So you launch
Putting
a
the
firebolt.
DPS.
Yeah, look at all that damage now. That's
Sling
way
it
more
off
than
on it,
two.
yes.
Nobody's
That I
missed.
could have rolled beforehand.
Yeah, but you were always rolling ones and twos.
That
So
would've been
threes
two
and
damage.
fours.
that takes us back to Bones.
Okay, we'll rinse and repeat here. So, first roll was the d20, right? Yes. Reroll that. 11 probably will miss.
11 is a hit. Just barely.
Why?
There you go.
I told you,
cool.
naked women.
Fair enough. 9 damage.
Okay, I'm just kind of curious how far away from the boat they actually are. Oh, that's you. It's like you took 9 damage, Bones.
God.
Okie dokie.
Foot.
Pyro is going to try and put another bolt into... Oh, not another one. He's going to try to put a bolt. You know what? Let's just do this. Custom 1. Dex. Proficient. Yes. Roll it. So, Pyro fires... Yeah, he doesn't really get how, like, crossbows work. Just kind of shoots it way past.
Oh, because he has no dex.
Oh god.
Yeah, he is
I give him
just-
a pat on the back.
Just a bit outside.
It only
It's like-
added 2.
Oh, because you know why? Because he hasn't leveled up to 5.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Then that'll
Wasn't
hit.
gonna hit.
That will hit. Yeah, roll 1d10 plus 0.
User joined your channel.
It's Pyro!
Hey, it's Pyro.
Oh my god.
So Pyro hits that harpy with a bolt.
Pyro, you're doing so well right now.
Well, I'm here to ruin that.
We're aware.
You just barely
Um,
did well.
Oh, fuck. See, I was going... Oh, yeah, good. It's Lawaj's turn. Lawaj, you go, while I just finish leveling up Pyro. At least,
Yeah. Oh, you-
Pyro, I'm just going to quickly
Oh,
level
thanks.
up your health and your proficiency thing.
Now I use the bow that I have
Okay.
no idea what does. The harpy.
It
It's-
makes
it's-
a
it's a
free
sh-
arrow,
Makes magical
and
errors.
it's a +1 bow.
Fucking Jesus, dude.
Nice. Cool bow.
No, I
Second-
think
I'm
it's
in
only
the
a plus
fucking
1,
wrong
so.
game.
Oh,
No,
Nice.
from my new fighter technique +2 to all ranged weapon attacks.
Cool. Mexi.
So, 15... Yeah, so you shoot... I'm assuming you're shooting at the same one.
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
Yeah,
kill
so
that
you shoot her out of the sky. She's dead.
Stop going.
She
one.
seems-
Rocket!
I just gotta quickly remember. What would Pyro's health be? He's a D10, so 6
D10.
plus 2, 8, so he'd be at 44.
I can subscribe to you, Epic.
Yeah, like they gave everybody buttons. They gave all us schlubs fucking buttons now.
Now there's a high number of users.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. My cam looks like shit, anyways.
Yep.
I can close this. So I did your health and your level, like, so your proficiency bonus is correct. So whatever else you get at level 5, Pyro, like spells and shit, you gotta do that yourself. I just wanted to make sure that so you could use, like, your attacks properly, and they would roll, like, the correct stuff. Okay. Anyways, harpies. So, this harpy will fly over. As you fly right at Pyro. Oh no. Oh god damn it, I lost my friggin' scroll up and down again. Fuck, I hate Chrome. Chrome sucks.
Don't you always use Firefox?
I do, but because we had all those problems with the cams, I started using Chrome just for Roll20. Like, for D&D. But
Hard to come around to Firefox, to be honest.
I prefer it. I much prefer it, but...
Yeah, we use it at work now, and it's actually not half bad.
So, I need some dice. So one of them's going to attack Pyro. Oh, they get 2 attacks. Multi-attack. It's going to attack Pyro twice. Miss twice. Just give me another d20. Attack Bones twice. You probably don't hit. So 14 is the highest.
Nope.
So she just kind of swoops in, starts clawing at your face. This one here... this one perches, ready to kind of dive in at Dusty. And then this one here begins to sing a beautiful, beautiful song. So beautiful that I would like everyone to make wisdom saving throws.
Oh, my favorite.
Whole boat?
Oh, my favorite. That's
So,
unfortunate.
Wacky fails, Dado fails, Lawaj fails, Jez passes, Bones passes, Pyro fails.
They'll be
God
like,
damn it.
jump off of the boat.
Why did
So,
Charm will let you do that.
so everybody except for
Was it
Bones.
a charm?
Yes.
Then elves have the advantage.
Ooh.
If
It's
that
not gonna
helps.
help. It's not gonna help me
wacky,
much.
but
Yeah, I have advantage.
it might help Lawaj.
It will, yes. You know what? That will help Lawaj. It doesn't help Wacky.
Cry.
So, Bones,
funny.
Jez, and Lawaj are fine. Wacky, Dado, Pyro. The 3 of you all have been charmed by the harpy. So, while charmed by the harpy, you are incapacitated if the charmed target is more than 5 feet away. Basically, on your next turn, you need to sort of take the dash action to move as close, like basically move straight towards the harpy at the most direct route possible. You do not avoid opportunity attacks, but if anything damages you, or if anything is going to put your life in jeopardy, you will get to make another attempt at the saving throw. So, that was
Which one is the one that sank?
this one here.
Oh, okay, okay.
Put a big heart.
Why do I
You
feel
good.
like she's gonna back off the ship so you guys try to chase her off the ship?
So,
Maybe.
Jez, your turn.
Well, now I kind of want to shut her up.
Please do.
But it's so pretty.
Is she still singing, or did she just do this once?
No, she's still singing.
Oh, so this is like a concentration thing.
Yep. Well, it's not like a concentration thing as a spell, but it's a thing she has to keep using actions to keep up.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I will drop my bow, pull out my sword.
They're gonna
and-
say, like, I dropped my bow and I push her off the boat. It doesn't do anything.
It might
will
work.
be enough.
But it won't.
10 is not gonna be enough.
Attack again.
I-
Can't because you
Probably should.
multi-classed.
What? Wouldn't matter. I started a fighter. Yeah, I'll action surge. Then attack again.
I think he means that if you were just all fighter, then you
Got
would
double attack.
you would have double attack right now.
Oh yeah.
But I
Uh,
missed.
that is gonna hit for 6
And
damage.
I will trip her. Probably will stay.
She just barely makes it.
Probably
Damn.
for the best, to be honest. I just don't have any other options for my. I can't really disarm her. Because then she'll fall too, because she's holding onto the boat. But that's my turn.
Wacky.
Okay, so I just have to. I just use my movement to get over there.
Yep.
That's it. Alright. Do I still get a bonus action? I'm guessing that's a no.
The only thing you can do is use a dash action.
Okay.
Basically, all you can do is just like run for that harpy.
Well, I'm here now.
I'll say, I'm gonna say that you were out of its. You weren't quite close enough to the one attacking Pyro. At the end of your turn, you can repeat your saving throw.
Okay, I'll do that.
And you are no longer charmed. Dusty's gonna go running over there too. Most beautiful song he's ever heard.
That's the wrong one, isn't it?
The other one, Dado.
One.
The
Oh, I thought
one
you
by
said-
Jez.
I thought I had to go to the closest one. Okay.
No, it's this specific one that's singing.
Yeah.
Okay. That is the wisdom saving throw.
Now you are fine. Bones.
Alright. A bonk this harpy.
Yep.
Bonkadoo.
That's a hit.
A bonker again. Bonkadoo.
That's also a hit.
A flurry of blows, and I'm gonna punch her.
You punch her, which knocks her unconscious, and
That's
she
me.
falls to her death, unconscious.
I'm gonna finish my attack and punch this one.
That is successfully punched.
Say what? Sure. I'm gonna spend another key point, and I'm gonna stunning strike her.
Constitution saving throw. Yes. You successfully stun her.
Cool. He is stunned until the end of my next turn.
Lawaj, your turn.
What happened to me?
Gonna
Oh, sorry, Pyro. I double-clicked past you.
Yeah, I know I've been gone a while, but like, you're always skipping my turns.
What? I'm used to being the one playing you.
Just gonna miss anyways, let's just be honest.
Oh yeah, probably.
We'll see.
My Pyro RP has been on point.
Have you missed 8 out of 10 hits?
Yeah, I've missed quite a few.
Oh, okay.
God, I miss having my fucking scroll up and down.
Like, is she
It's-
still
it's more
singing
like-
because of she's stunned?
Oh, I stunned the other one.
Yeah,
Not
you
that one.
stunned the one like by Bones at the top.
That's the one that was singing.
Oh wait, did Pyro fail? Oh, Pyro failed the thing. Yeah, so you gotta. The only thing you can do is just go run to her. Oh,
Wait.
Oh yeah,
But
how
now
does
she's stunned, so
this?
is she still singing?
Well, what does stunning strike do? What is
Just
stun?
stuns her until the end of the turn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
my turn.
is stun and incapacitate.
Yes, it's a stun on whatever that condition is.
Stun creature is incapacitated.
And they automatically fail stuff.
It can't move, and for this point,
You know what? Pyro, I'll give it to you. The song does end if the harpy's incapacitated. Wisdom saving throw or be charmed until the song ends. So yeah, you know what? You can take your turn as normal.
I like to think you
Okay.
punched her in the throat, and her song just
I
very.
totally-
Yeah, now it just sounds like squawking. It's just like.
Now it sounds like Grunty talking in Banjo-Kazooie.
So, what sword am I holding right now? Am I holding the
Talon.
talking one, or am I holding just a regular
Talon.
long sword?
The talking one.
Okay, good.
It doesn't talk.
You're holding the good one.
Still hasn't talked to me?
No. It
I
just
don't think it
emotes.
ever will.
It emotes at
Well,
you.
to be fair, you wouldn't know if it had because I've been controlling, and you. Well, you know what? I would have RP'd you, telling everybody if you.
Pyro,
thought
you have a
so.
second attack.
Oh yay!
Oh, that's right. He does get 2 attacks at level 5.
Level 5.
There you go.
That one is also a hit. You wham bam the
Is that
harpy.
divine
Do
strike?
things.
I feel like I'm the only one that hasn't hit with one of her attacks.
Yeah, you hit. You hit with your rapier.
Yeah,
And a
but I had to
paladin?
attack. I had to use an action surge to hit.
Paladin, what?
Did Paladin do divine strike on both of his bonus attacks or just once?
I think it's just once.
Whenever they hit.
Well, it's because
Whatever
it uses a spell slot. It's like casting a spell, so you can
Yeah.
only use
yeah.
like 1 spell
Okay.
per turn.
Fair enough. Interesting.
Should I?
Up to you,
I-
bro.
I
don't
think we're
feel
good.
like it.
No, don't.
It's not like we're not gonna get a long rest after this, guys. Hint, hint,
Yeah,
hint.
right? Yeah, don't.
Why would
I
we
have no
not?
idea what's happening. I just know we're on a ship.
This
We're
is
going
all
to
taking too
Barovia.
long, so I'm going to the Lodge's turn.
Yeah, go.
Okay.
Go over here and shoot the one that pirates hit.
Okay. And it's a hit. Oh, you can finally use the sneak attack.
Yeah.
And it dead? It dead. Just barely dead. It's not my good one. So, Harpy. This one's... It's until the end
The end
of...
of my next turn.
Yeah, so she doesn't have to make anything. This one... Two attacks on Dado. A 14 versus AC and a 22 versus AC.
Well, the 22 is gonna hit. I'm gonna shield the 14.
Oh my god, I need D4s? You little bitch.
The joy of shield you have learned.
Hey, if you really want the Joy of Shield, play an Eldritch Knight.
Wow, that was a bad roll. So 3 damage to Dusty. That's what I get for
And I'm
not
pretty
using real
sure-
dice.
And I get my
Sure, you-
overshield from that anyway.
I'm pretty sure your Overshield covers that 3 damage.
Yeah, it does.
Jez.
I will probably finish this one off because it's stunned. I have advantage, right?
Yes.
And it is it an auto crit? Yeah.
No.
On
No, it's
Incapat?
not.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's
Only
like sleeping.
that's only if you're paralyzed.
No.
Trust me,
Paralyzed.
I just looked at it. You don't have auto crit.
Paralyzed creatures incapacitated. And
Not
stunned.
paralyzed. It's
A stunned creature is incapacitated. No, I'm saying incapacitated is the one that. Oh wait, no.
A stunned creature is incapacitated. And an incapacitated creature cannot take actions or reactions.
Oh, okay. I see.
Otherwise, the stunning strike would be like monks would be so OP if that were true.
I mean, they already are. Cause
Yeah, so attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature automatically fails strength and dexterity saving throws.
Well,
You can do your tripping attack and automatically trip her, or push
I
her, or
could.
whatever.
I could. But I feel like she's going to die because there's 4 of us right here. 3 of us right here. That are
Probably.
on. I will leave it in case I have to repost.
Repost. Because your original post didn't, like, nobody responded.
Repost.
So 7 damage.
Wacky.
Yep, Wacky Dusty.
Am I gonna get hit if I try to move?
Yep. Because you basically snuggled
Okay.
like as close up to that harpy as
No,
you could get.
That harpy's stunned.
Well-
She's fine.
Oh yeah, because the harpy's
Oh,
stunned. So
well.
yeah, no, you can.
Fucking whatever.
Well, if you want to move, go ahead and move.
Yeah, I'll move after this. And stab.
7 damage. Yep. Harpy's still alive.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over here. Bonus action, I'm gonna give Bardic Inspiration to, I guess, Bones?
Cool.
I don't think Dusty's gonna make much use out of it in his current state.
Pyro. No, Dusty. Dusty goes.
Kind of look at the bird next to me. Like,
Burb.
This is awkward. That
Give us a kiss, big boy.
So, That you have disadvantage on, so you're gonna have to roll again
Okay.
because you're casting it right in her face.
Well, I'm just gonna do that. And
Oh,
it was a
shit.
Hey!
Oh,
Still
Amazing.
get to take the 12. But even still, that's 15 damage.
Yeah.
Bend your tail feathers.
See, this is why I hate fourth, because the first thing that pops in my head is that, oh, Harpy gets to fucking swing at you. But that's a fourth rule. It's disadvantage in 5.
I think it's a. Isn't it an optional rule? Like you could house rule it.
I can't remember.
I would just say if you did, you'd just make sure we do it from now on forever.
I mean, house rule means any rule can be an optional rule.
Of course, I know that. I'm just saying, if you like it, then do it. Just as long as we get the same whenever a mage casts on us.
Most of my mages are smart enough to be, like, way far away from you.
I know. I'm just saying.
Like, way far away from you. So Dusty singes... It smells kind of like fried chicken now on the deck of the ship. A little bit.
Oh,
Oh,
Fraser.
that's nice.
Yeah, it doesn't last for long. Pretty
Oh,
quickly,
my
it just
buddy.
the smell just kind of wafts away on the wind.
You're cooking fried chicken. I can't do a
So-
Fraser accent. I'm sorry.
Bones go.
What a bonker! Bonker do.
Should have given Gadrin fucking shit to do. Yeah, it's a hit.
He's driving the ship.
Yeah,
He's still
and
awake.
that is enough to knock her unconscious.
Cool.
And she still technically fails her dexterity saving throw anyways, and she just falls off the ship and dies.
Poor thing. Oh well, not my fault.
Kinda is your fault.
Not my fault.
These things are even vaguely human.
Hey, Bardic Inspiration.
Oh, cool. It's a D6, right?
Yes.
D6.
Oh my god, it's actually useful.
Worked. Yes.
So you bonk her for 5 damage.
With that, I'm gonna stun her.
Number one is
And no, you're not.
All right. I'm gonna flurry of blows. I'm gonna punch her.
That's a hit.
I'm gonna trip her.
in midair.
In mid-air. Nope.
Flying?
Yeah, she's flying. She's hovering around. She's basically
Well,
like
then-
at like Dusty's face.
What does tripping do then? Am I just like hitting her wings or something?
No,
Like,
they fall prone.
Yeah.
Or you mean in general?
yeah, that's what I meant. Like, if I'm tripping something flying, does it just fall prone?
Essentially.
Yeah.
All right. Did that hit or not? Or
Nope.
did she make it or not? She did not.
No, she's got decent dex.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll do my last punch then. Punch again.
That is a hit, and she is now unconscious on the deck of the ship.
I'm so glad that
You
someone
saved
actually used my
one.
Bardic Inspiration.
Hey, man.
Is that
was...
everyone?
Now you guys can take turns with this. Oh no, Elijah's gonna kill her.
Aw.
This
Jesus.
is how you guys can take turns with the harpy below deck now.
Like,
I mean, most of it's lady parts.
No. Not pulling a max. Not gonna happen.
I'm sure it's got lady bits. It's got a cloaca.
If God of War taught me anything, they have plenty.
You guys did it.
Yeah.
If it's anything like a bird, there's one hole and everything comes out of it.
I like that this conversation is still going.
Yeah.
Um,
Stop.
Time to stop.
So you guys, managed to fend off the barrage of harpies. You all get 100 XP each.
Did we
Yeah.
get XP for Dato's explanation earlier?
Yep, I said 100 XP.
Oh, okay.
Oh, then add 100 to that. Then.
That
71.55.
was still talking, so I didn't hear it.
So, a couple more days go by. You guys are flying over the high moor.
I'm gonna be in the crow's nest.
So
You're doing down
go,
here?
Go ahead and like move yourselves kind of where you would be on the ship, I guess. Like
At what time of day?
it's probably late morning.
I'd probably be right downstairs
How
anyway.
fast does the ship go, anyways? Is it like a leisurely speed, or is it going like,
It's
high
going-
wind fast?
It's fairly fast. I don't really
Give me
have
that
a specific.
nautical miles, please.
It's more than some and less than tons. You know, there is no speedometer on the ship, so you can't really be sure.
Well, I imagine if harpies can catch up to us, then we're not going like hella fast.
Yeah.
We're probably only going like
Hella.
10 or 20 knots.
And 10 or that's pretty fast.
Oh, we're also in the air.
I was told the wind speed in knots getting off the plane. When has anyone ever needed that information? There's only been 24 people in the history of the world who have ever needed wind speed in knots.
Oddly specific number.
So, you guys... Fuck, not having my scroll is really starting to piss me off. So yeah, you guys are hanging out. Jez is climbing around in the sails, I guess.
Yeah, hanging in the rope.
So Jez, you hear a giggling sound in like the just sort of like on the netting beside you.
A giggling sound.
Yep, sounds almost like a little child like giggling.
Oh, I hate children.
Aren't you as tall as one?
Yeah. I will turn towards the source of this giggling noise, or as close as I can. You want me to perception check this, see if I can find it?
Sure.
May as well be gone.
So, you know, it's through the wind, it's tough to pick out, but you hear like this little, like, sort of squeaky, high-pitched voice ask you, it's like, what's this? What's this?
There's something in the air.
There's something on the wing.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like it's coming from in front of you, and then it kind of sounds like it's coming from behind you.
Maybe it's multiple things.
Oh my god, it's totally a gremlin.
Could be it. What is it? I can't really be pointing at something because I can't see it. The boat. Pieces of a boat. I don't know. What do you want?
But boats don't fly. Boats swim.
Boats don't swim. They glide over water.
Details.
Okay, smartass.
Hey, you brought the details into it. This is like a ship for the air. An airship, if you will.
So, about, 5 feet away from you or so, suddenly, like, the source of the voice kind of pops into being, and you see what essentially is like a cat-sized little dragon, but it's all, like, bright and colorful, like a bright blue colored. And it's like, I like it. I want it. Can I have it?
I mean, it's not really mine to give. Why would you want it? You can fly. You don't need a boat.
Flying
Okay,
is
picture the boat
flying
for
is
your wings.
tiring. Like, look, I'm flying now, and it's just like bouncing like up and down on like the rope, like not having to like flap its wings or anything. Like, this is great. Got any food? Got any food? And it starts kind of like just like hop around on the deck.
Can I... Would I know what this is? Having been from a family of mages that has likely seen one?
Give
Or had one that's
me an Arcana check.
Oh, good.
Apparently I slept in that day.
Well, you don't think it's a familiar
No,
because
because it's nothing...
because you would imagine if it's a familiar, you guys are in trouble. There's some like wizard that's like flying around underneath your fucking ship. But yeah, no, it looks like a little blue. Looks like a little blue dragon, but not quite like the same sort of deep blue that you're like sort of accustomed to thinking of dragons being. So you don't think it's like one of those like lightning spewing dragons.
Yeah, I'll hop off the
This seems like
netting.
body-wise, yeah, it's about the size of a cat.
I'll hop off the netting, and I will.
Does
It's,
Bones
like-
just not see this?
Well, he's
It's not a
way
crow's
up in the
nest,
air.
so
Ah, okay.
it's just kind of
I'll
hopping
like
around on
call
the
her
deck.
down into the hold. Hey, Dusty, you want to come up?
I'm gonna peer to the side. Be like,
I'm
"What's up,
assuming
Jess?"
it's all connected down there. Maybe not.
Oh, you can just yell down the.
I don't hear you at all.
Yeah.
No.
And I like, hey Dusty, I think Cass
He's
wants
old.
you.
Yell a little louder.
Oh, what? Oh,
I think Cassiopeia wants you. We should probably get up there.
oh, I gotta get up again.
Yeah, no,
Does
I'm
it make it
sorry.
work now?
I'm sorry.
No.
It's so hard
I
for
don't
you.
think. I don't think anyone can hear
No, I
anything.
can't fix my scrolling.
That's
Yeah.
an 8, a 7, a 4, and a 6.
Yeah, did
I'm
you
gonna-
roll? Did you roll?
Was I supposed to?
Well,
Well, that's
see if you
kinda-
heard it. You don't, because you're down.
why I
You're
rolled.
down the deck as well.
There you go, 21.
Okay.
So yeah, no, you hear Jez yelling for.
Alright, I'm going up.
kinda
Oh, what the
hopping around.
fuck is that?
Alright, I'm here.
It's just hopping around like a chicken.
Have I seen this thing yet?
Give me a perception check. Because I imagine you're not even really looking at the deck. You're probably looking at like the horizon and like the incredible view you have from like
I
up on
was.
top.
But after Jess said something, so that's kind of my perception
Also-
to hear and look.
Also, we're starting to become a commotion of people gathering.
Yeah,
around
yeah.
us.
Okay, I'll say that Bones. Yeah, you get you notice that there's a commotion on the deck.
Cool.
There's enough of a group to kind of catch your attention.
Alright,
think
I'll start
you-
climbing down?
From up there, you probably weren't able to really hear Jez, but you heard somebody say something or like yell something, and then you look down and like pretty much everybody's on the deck. You're like, oh, something's going on. There's some kind of colorful chicken bouncing around.
I don't think I have any.
Fancy, I
I don't
like
have
it.
any
Don't-
food.
Whoa, what's that?
You know what? I have that bottle of sweet water you guys bought last time.
Oh yeah,
And we all
you can
do.
give us. You can give us sweet
Oh,
water.
Jez-
thought-
Jez
I
drank
thought
his.
you already drank it.
Oh.
I didn't
I'm
drink
saving
mine.
mine for later.
Somebody did. Somebody drank theirs already, I think.
I thought someone drank it right away, unless you gave it to Pyro, and Pyro drank it right away.
I don't remember.
I have no idea what that is.
Somebody did.
Well, when I say Pyro, I mean your character.
I'll pull out one of my rations from my bag and say, I've got some food, little guy.
As it's already walking away from us.
Back, come back.
Do I hear what's happening now?
So it kind of just
I could yell
it just
at
kind of like
Pyro.
sniffs at your like ration, and it just kind of like sticks its little forked tongue out at you,
Please do.
and then goes back to like just bouncing
I'm
away
gonna-
from you.
I'm gonna yell at Pyro. There's a
okay.
weird, colorful chicken on deck now.
I mean,
Bonk, bonk.
Cool.
would we have cut up the would we have cut up the harpy's wings and have chicken wings?
Hopefully.
We've already charged them.
Wait, what does it normally eat? Because I hope it doesn't smell my pet mouse. Yes, I have a pet mouse.
All this time you've been carrying
All
around
this
a
time
little
I've had a
mouse.
pet mouse. Yes, I have. I've had it since day one.
It's gonna go like hopping up the stairs.
Dusty, what the fuck is that?
I'm still like waking up.
Following it.
It's gonna kill
And
me.
a history check maybe?
Yeah.
Give me Arcana.
Arcana. Okay.
So yeah, it goes wanders over, starts kind of like pulling at Gadrin's pant leg. Dado, you believe this is a fairy dragon?
Thanks, voice in my head.
Are those good or bad?
It's very
Little
very-
column A, little column B. You know that they are typically mischievous and not usually too much of a threat, but they like
High
to
emphasis
play
on
pranks on the living, and you know, for all intents and purposes, they also like, you know, things like delicious foods and treasure and stuff like that. Being, you know, because it is part dragon.
That is a horrible thing to think about.
So yeah, it starts pulling on Gadrin's leg, and it's like,
Oh, yeah,
hey, dwarf,
Sorry, Gadrin.
dwarf, this is my ship now. Oh,
Can we keep
take it north. And Gadrin just kind of like looks at it. It's like, get this fucking thing off my deck, and he kicks the fucking little dragon away.
Oh no!
And it starts like hopping around in circles.
I'll say, "Here, little buddy." And I'll give him my little goth necklace that I don't know what it's from.
It's like, what do you...
I'm gonna go over to it.
So, yeah, it just kind of like looks at the necklace, like, this isn't gold. This isn't yummy. I can't eat this. You people are mean.
Could.
You eat gold?
You're gonna be sorry when my big brother comes to get me.
Hmm.
Look, we're not looking for trouble. Do we have any apples down? Like, I'll ask Gadrin. Like, we got any apples or fruit or anything down in the hold?
He tells you
He
there's
said he
probably...
eats gold.
It just said it eats gold.
Well, no, it likes gold, but it also likes...
He wants treasure because he's a dragon. He doesn't
Yeah.
eat gold.
It likes food and it likes gold because it's dragon.
I don't have anything fancy.
So
I don't have
Gadrin
anything
said
gold
yes,
on me.
there's fruit down in the hold?
Boing.
Oh, well, there it goes.
Okay. Never mind. I was gonna try to convince it. Oh, it's back.
I looked away from the tab. Oh, okay, there it is.
All right.
Yeah, it's... You saw it disappear, and then like a minute or so later, it was like sitting up on top of one of the railings.
Ooh.
So it does seem to... You imagine it has the ability to... Well, Dusty knows it has the ability to turn invisible.
Guessing that to convince it would be persuasion since it's intelligent and not animal handling.
Yeah,
Do we know why this thing's on here? It's just showed up.
it just showed up.
Okay, I'll talk to it. Can I get its attention? How do I get its attention?
Talk to it.
Say something.
Done.
Say something.
Hey, what are you, so what are you doing up here, man? What are you...
Me and my big brother were flying by, and
Oh.
I saw this. I decided I'd come check it out. I've never seen whatever this is before.
Yeah, well, you and me both. Where's your, brother there?
It's like, oh, he should be along shortly.
Okay. Yeah, no, I haven't seen this either. So,
While he's
you
talking
know,
to it,
it's
I'm gonna try to go
pretty
downstairs
neat.
and
I
find
think it's
something for it
pretty
to
neat,
eat.
too. I don't know, you think it's neat?
It's like, yeah, I want it.
Do you have a name?
I mean, I don't, it's not mine.
This is me looking for fruit.
Okay. Yeah, you can go digging around in the... Well, your best bet's probably in the stores.
Where's that? Not in the
Like,
kitchen, I take it?
The other side of the ship. Like the other side of the interior of the ship.
Can I seriously get through here? I gotta go the other side? Wow.
You gotta go down the hatches in the front.
So going up. Oop. Duck, 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 duck.
So,
Every time he walks.
What's a different noise now?
Why is
Look
he making
again.
noises when he walks? Do you have like peg legs
No.
now?
No, he's always done it.
Well, he hasn't been here for a couple episodes, so.
I know the when he's like sprinting. He's been doing that
This is-
forever.
Yeah.
so
That's my
as you
ninja run.
as you guys are sort of like entertaining this thing and like talking to it, he's like, "Oh, big brother, you're here," and you guys feel like the whole side of the ship just kind of lurch downwards, and you look behind you, and a large wyvern kind of lands and is crouched on like the corner of the ship.
I don't think those two are related.
I wave
here-
at it. I go, "Yo!"
Feeling that, I'm gonna start coming back up on deck, so.
So yeah, the wyvern just kind of like looks at all of you and just kind of like roars, like angrily, and the little fairy dragon just keeps kind of like hopping around like on the railing.
I
like,
asked
"Oh."
the thing. I'm like,
Can
"Are
I-
you sure you guys are related?"
It's like, no, of course
Hey,
we're not
we're not.
related. He's my muscle. He takes care of
He's
things
got-
for me.
Yeah, he's got 4 legs while the Riven has only his 2.
It's like, shh. It's like,
Hey, we didn't
I'm
wanna,
actually
like,
way
start anything
smarter
here.
than he is. Don't tell him that.
We didn't want to start anything here.
Like, well, I got some fruit. Do you want it? Maybe your big brother can have some too?
Basically just kind of like jumps down onto the deck and starts like, basically it starts baring its teeth and starts kind of lunging for Gadrin. And I'm going to need everybody to roll initiative.
Oh,
Aw,
fucking god
beat up
damn
the
it.
big
Yeah,
brother
you
guy.
can't really tame a wyvern. Everybody
Hoping
Wait,
that
knows
the little
that.
guy. I was hoping that the little guy would have some sway out with him.
Hey! Maybe this is all just a prank. It's just a prank, bro. It's just a prank.
Prank, bro. It's just a
Got it.
prank.
Yeah, the ribbon is just a really clever silent image. Not silent, but major image.
Oh, I guess we need initiative, don't we? Bloop.
I help.
Oh.
I like that the dragon landed and Gadrin just was still at the wheel.
Well,
Yeah,
he had to, as soon as it landed, he had to correct the ship because like all that extra weight just crashing down onto the side of it kind of threw the ship off. But yeah, now he's like, fucking get this thing, get it. I'm gonna give it a
No,
fairy
Can
dragons
we
getting.
keep it as like pet?
No.
I don't know if that's possible.
Why can't I find his dex? Oh, he has a lot of dex. Okay, so he has 25 for initiative.
Holy shit!
And the wyvern has 10. Cadron has 13. Bloop. So, the fairy dragon kind of flops over and starts kind of jumping up and down on Wacky's head. And he's like, "Oh, you're gonna get it! You're gonna get it! You're gonna get it!" And he just keeps doing
Sure
that
am,
like
buddy.
over and over again.
Your reaction to flick it off.
Yeah.
That's basically how he's going to spend his turn.
Yep, I get the idea, buddy.
Do it this way.
Jez.
I guess I gotta go back upstairs. And 30 feet. Oh, buddy. Come here. Poke it in the leg. Get away.
That's a hit. 12 damage.
Oh, I can't do anything else.
Cool. Pyro.
Trip
I
it.
could run really fast. Yeah, but trip it. That might be bad to have even more weight land.
That's not how weight works, but okay.
I guess I'll go up to it. I'll be just like, never mind, it doesn't matter now. I'll say bad, not dragon, and then
15's a hit.
You have a second attack, Pyro.
oh
Back
right,
again, Pyro. If you'd been here, like you'd be all excited to attack twice, but
13 is just barely a hit. Being that he's not actually a dragon, he doesn't have like big hard scales like a dragon.
I'm gonna ask like the fairy dragon, like if he becomes like incapacitated, what then? What do you do then? Like if your muscle is no longer capable of being muscle.
He just kind of jumps up
Why
and
don't-
down on
why don't
Wacky,
you-
saying, "It's like I'll just have to
Why
take
don't
care."
we be his muscle?
what's he gonna do if we knock out his buddy?
It's like I'll just have to take care of you myself.
Okay.
Alternatively, we could be your muscle.
Yeah, come work with us.
Seeing as we're gonna best what you have now.
You guys don't know that.
Maybe not.
The wise go.
Definitely not a fight that we're meant to run away from, because
don't back up.
Yeah, where are we gonna go?
let it live up here.
Yep. 18 damage. Let's actually try out the thing. Nope, that doesn't work. Ah! Screwing it all up. Waj tries to duck and hide by the door to the captain's
I'm like
quarters.
pressing my back up against the wall.
Okay.
Like it's like you can't see me.
Wacky is oh yeah, Wacky's underneath the fucking dragon. It's like where's Wacky? Is she like under the deck?
I want to propose something and try to persuade the fairy dragon. If we get rid of the wyvern, you hang out with us and do your best not to cause any problems to us. Whatever you do to anybody else is whatever. And I guess I'll roll that.
So it's like what are you offering me? Why would I want to hang around you guys?
Adventure, I suppose. We're doing exciting secret
We find
things.
cool loot.
Can I eat adventure?
You could eat whatever we kill along the way.
That doesn't sound very tasty.
Sure, we could furnish some yummy food for you while we're on the road.
Do any of you have baking skills?
No.
I don't
Yes,
think.
kind of. I mean, I've got that would be proficiency in cooking, I imagine. This tool.
Well, that's the dragon wants to know.
Oh,
It wants some sweets and some like cookies.
Oh,
And I can give it the sweet water.
Yeah, we have a limited amount of those.
yeah,
I
just
play
try,
music.
Like, here, try this. We'll take you to the guy that makes them. You could be his buddy.
Yeah, can I give him the sweet water?
Yeah, on your turn you can.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Well, I still
You'd have to.
right?
The problem is you'd have to like put it in something for him to drink it out of. You don't think his little
Just
snout's
hold
gonna? Well, we
Maybe I'll
like dump
pull
it on its
somewhere.
head, and it's gonna. Like,
Pour it out slowly.
Well, it's probably too big for him. That does make sense, actually.
Well, I still have my
Made
action,
for a
right?
human, so.
I mean, if I could use my shield as a bowl,
probably
been
Here,
everything
just
else.
put a little bit in your hand. It'll just like, oh.
probably bite
Fine.
your hand.
might also bite your hand.
Either way.
They do have a
we're
bite
gonna crap
attack.
for you, buddy.
It'll be that big of a deal.
The 20's a hit for 8 damage. Dusty, what do you want to do?
I want a fairy dragon.
Real quick, hang on, sorry.
Something tells me it's gonna be Firebolt.
Sorry.
What if we just
I knocked a half cup of water over.
Oh.
What if we just
Sorry.
pay him? Here's some gold. Your buddy
He
go
likes
away.
gold.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
the,
saying.
the small dragon wanted it, right?
Yeah, offer
The
him
big,
gold.
the big thing is essentially just a beast that this thing's kind of probably like
Right.
somewhat charmed
That's what
into
I
kind of
figured.
following it around, or might even be chasing the little dragon for all you know. Wyverns are not intelligent in any way; they're just they're beasts.
Right.
Got it.
I really wonder. I wonder if the little dragon even has any sway, or if they're just traveling of convenience.
Or it could have just chased the little dragon here. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna lure it to here, and
He's probably not going to be able to get rid of it, I imagine.
I mean, I'll take out the sweet water, open it up, and I'll just tell him, like, yo, open your mouth. Pour a little bit in.
Alright.
give me a persuasion check.
Open
Doesn't-
your mouth.
Yeah. Open your mouth, dragon.
Close your eyes and open your
That's
mouth.
not a very good idea.
It just kind of like cranes its neck back and like looks at you funny.
Let me see that bird now.
Yeah,
It's like if you ever try to jam like a bottle of Coke in front of like a chicken or something like
I'm
that.
just like showing him. I'm like, eh?
It's sweet.
It's sweet.
I will give you your action still, Dusty. We'll say as a bonus action to pull out your bottle of sweet water and just kind of shake it in front of the dragon.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll firebolt the big dude then.
Probably a really awkward fight because we're just like haphazardly just like shooting and fighting this wyvern while we're like, hey, come be our friend. Hey, big dick damage.
Wizards suck.
Wizards are terrible, man. They're good, man. I was like, shut the fuck up.
So the wyvern's gonna go. So it's going to attempt to... Is it going to bite Gadrin, or is it going to bite Pyro? It's going to bite Pyro. It's going to bite Pyro, and then it's going to use its stinger on Jez. Attack on Pyro is an 18 versus AC, which I don't think hits. Attack on Jez is a 22 versus AC.
That's gonna hit.
Give me a Constitution saving throw. You're going to take 12 piercing damage. And you did not fail. Oh, fuck it. This is just easier. And you're going to take half of this in poison damage. 9 poison damage.
Good God.
Thanks.
Can he... Yeah. He's gonna just kind of back up a bit. He's gonna stay within range of Pyro and Jez. Kind of like backs to like the ledge and kind of like stands on the ledge. Gadrin's like frantically just kind of spinning around on the fucking wheel, trying to make up for all this extra weight pushing down on one spot in the ship. Bones.
Cool. I'm going to... There, and sure, that's good enough. Alright, I'm going to bonk him. Bonk-a-doo.
That's a hit.
Running strike!
Not even close.
Even close to succeeding.
Yeah, he rolled a 22.
For staff, bonk again.
And that is also a hit.
Flurry of blows. Punch.
13 is just a hit.
Trip.
And you crit that one.
Punch again.
That is also a hit.
This is never gonna end.
Push.
So with that one, does he make... It's basically his choice, Dex or Strength?
No, it's my choice. I'm telling you, you know what? I'm just gonna make 2 because it's very confusing. I'll just make 2 from now on.
That's
So this
what
is
I
a
said, like 10
strength
turns.
check to push him 15 feet away.
Oh, yeah, then he absolutely passes.
Well, great.
It wouldn't have done anything. If all you would have done was push him off the ship.
I
And
know,
he
but
would
I
have just...
feel like I contributed, Zeppin. Why you gotta rain on my parade?
Yeah, but if he pushes him back, I might be able to trip him to fall.
That would be
But,
cool.
I mean, he'll never hit the ground before he comes out
That'd
of
just
it.
be
But
neat. Well, at least I did some good damage, I guess.
So, this thing is going to
Maybe better
basically fart in Wacky's face.
Lovely.
I mean, it's supposed to be a breath attack, but I think this is funnier. So, it just it releases just a puff of gas in your face, Wacky. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
I'm really good at those.
Would that be Constitution?
So you
Christ.
you
Oh,
fall
darn.
under the
Darn,
effects
darn.
of its
I said darn,
euphoria
darn.
gas. Yeah. So at the beginning of at the beginning of each of your turns for 1 minute, roll a d6 to determine what your turn will consist of,
Okay.
and then
His farts confuse you. That's so cool.
as a bonus action. So all of a sudden, like the bouncing up on your head just disappears, boop, and he just boop blinks out of existence. And
Well,
that's
good.
you. I was trying to move him. Fuck. You know what? Oh, did I make you disappear too? Shit.
Yup.
Oh God. Yeah, I'm gone.
Ooh.
So you back to the token layer. You move over here. And then we go to Jez's turn.
I guess since it never left my space, I can still attack it from here.
Yep.
So I'll just swing away.
Okie dokie. That is a hit. 6 damage.
Sure. I will try to trip him.
14. Target is not tripped.
Just passed.
The thing looks very hurt. Can Pyro finish him off?
I want to see
I'm
what
gonna
happens
step
to me.
between him and Gadrin. I think I finish him off.
That's a hit. And you cleave the wyvern's head off. It just kind of like lands at Gadrin's feet. And the rest of the body just kind of slumps.
Can I grab
Gross.
it before it falls off, or is it gonna not fall off?
You could...
That's probably not a good idea.
it's like kind of half on, half off. It's probably not going to fall off on its own. You guys will have to like push it off.
I think he
Gadrin's just kind of... He's got like
Pull
one...
it back onto the ship.
while it's slumping to kind of brace it and push it, rather than have to deadlift it.
No, I want to keep it on the ship.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
Gadrin... Yeah, so I'm going to suspend combat. The little... the little thing is not really intently trying to fight you. Gadrin just kind of like looks at the head at his feet, and like looks at the thing. He's like, "Get that fucking thing off my
Mine.
ship."
Mine.
Hey, grab a
Fine.
tooth for me.
I'm keeping the
Mine.
head. Head is mine.
That head's mine.
I cut it off.
Mine.
I cut it off. It's
Mine.
mine.
Okay, never mind. I don't
Mine.
want it anymore.
So,
Mine.
You can
We'll
fight
fight-
over it.
I will fight you for it.
Jesus Christ.
Uh, little Waj and Pyro.
I'm gonna steal a whole dragon head.
Guys, it's not even a dragon.
Yeah, exactly.
Pushing the rest of it off.
It's a wyvern.
Oh, you could probably take its poison. and
Am I still
poison blades
fucked, by the
wash.
way?
Its poison was in the tail.
Yeah, chop the tail off and take the poison for your
It's hanging off
butcher.
the
It's-
boat.
It may or may not be already gone.
Hey, you guys kind of like jumped to like Gadrin being like, "Get that fucking thing off my boat!" Like now.
Am I still fucked up?
And
or-
that's what the strength was for. Getting it off.
So the body's gone. You guys have a head that's probably about the size of a medicine ball, maybe bigger than that. Probably bigger than that. Probably like the size of your torso. That you guys are, you know, like your tug of warring, like back on the deck of the ship. So you hear like a familiar sort of like high-pitched voice. Like, well, that was fun.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
pretty fun.
Where is he?
Like, yeah.
Where is the little fucker?
Where'd the voice come from? I have no idea.
Nope.
I'll find him. Where? Nope.
They want.
Ask me again. Am I still fucked up or from the gas
fart?
thing? But yeah, that.
Do you get to?
Wet.
Yeah, you do get to keep making saving throws. So yeah, we'll say no
Okay.
because
I
you
wanted
would.
to know what
I
you
guess-
would do.
I just wanted her to roll.
I
see what
wanted
the-
to
see
know
what the
as well,
options
but that's
were.
fine. Give a perception as well then. Never mind. Yeah, we really did use all our good rolls at the beginning, huh?
So
Yes, we did.
Dusty, you feel something like resting on your head that didn't used to be there. You're pretty sure you didn't wear a hat today. So you're not entirely sure what it was. But it seems like there's something like sitting on your head that weighs like a few
I
pounds.
just walk up to Wacky like,
I don't know. You see where he went?
I don't actually, because I can't see it.
I just kind
There's definitely something sitting on your head.
of, yeah.
It's kind of
So
you know,
as you start
can I
kind of
reach
reaching
and
around
grab
for
it?
it goes to bite you.
Oh,
Since it's
no.
invisible, it has advantage. 20.
Nah,
Oh
I can't
wow,
help that.
24 versus AC.
Sorry, Dad.
Crap.
I can't help that.
So you take 1 piercing damage.
Oh,
Can I make a grab for it?
Like, get off me.
Okay,
Get
okay,
it,
okay.
get
I'm
it,
working on it. Can I
get it,
grab it? Like, what
get
would
it.
that be?
Get it.
light
So-
of hand, maybe?
Take it off me.
Basically, after the
Take it
bite,
off.
it just kind of like flops down and like lands on the thing, on the handrail again, starts walking across again, like a bird on a telephone wire.
Wanna
Like, that
offer
was fun.
fruit-
What are we gonna play now?
I offered that fruit that I
Whatever
had in
you
my hand
want.
earlier, which I probably dropped, but I'll pick it up again. Like, here, I found this. You want some?
So, you can offer it the
But
whole
we
thing, or
killed
you
your
gonna?
muscle.
Because
What now?
you're offering it like a thing that's probably like twice the size of its head.
No, I'm just a piece of
Oh,
fruit.
okay.
Just a
So-
apple or pear.
It cautiously takes it and eats it.
You got a little buddy?
I'm gonna heal a little bit.
No, you need. Okay.
Like, seem pretty far out on your own. Don't you get lost or something?
Nope. Whole world's my oyster.
Cool.
I like Marissa. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. Let's put
Maybe.
it that way.
Maybe. Like, well,
It's like, now that all the big dragons are gone, I'm running this place.
sure.
Are you? That's pretty impressive, little guy.
You know, it'd be really cool if we went south, and then we could talk to a guy who could take us to the elemental plane of existence. That'd be neat.
Out of nowhere.
The elemental plane of existence.
Whatever.
I would whisper to Pyro and say, "Let's eat the dragon."
I was gonna say let's cut it in half and each keep half.
Oh, of the wyvern head or of the little dragon?
I meant
The wyvern head. The wyvern
I
head.
meant
We're talking
dragon.
wyvern.
It's basically it's like the size of a
But they're
fried
talking
chicken,
about completely
essentially,
different
or like a
things.
roasted chicken.
Cut it in half and make pauldrons out of it.
Vidania goes one way and Javar goes the other. Like, wait, I thought you meant the big guy.
Pretty impressive that a little guy like you is running everything now. Now that
Yeah,
all
boss,
the
where
big
should
ones
we
are
go?
gone. Yeah.
Like I told you, I'm gonna keep this thing.
Well, which way?
I'm gonna ask him
Don't
if we
ask
can
it
keep
that.
the wyvern head.
I don't think it cares.
I'll just point to Gadget and be like, Gadget, go north. Wink,
Oh.
wink.
You got a name by the way?
I asked for his name. No one listened to me.
It's like I do, but none of you are capable of pronouncing it.
Probably not. Let's be real.
I know Draconic.
Oh, except for maybe him.
That's just a script.
Oh yeah, he fought all the big dragons. Maybe he knows.
Even basically, he says this thing that's about like 16 syllables long,
So it's
with a
like-
lot of like X's and Z's and stuff, and it's basically got way too many consonants than like it should.
All
And
right.
you're like,
So what do we
uh-huh,
call you?
I totally understand that.
What,
what do
can
we call you?
call you for short?
It's like, I don't know.
Sparkles.
Okay.
I vote Buddy.
No, that's like a no.
That will get confusing with me. Everything's buddy.
Hey, buddy.
How about Guy?
Yes, I was about to say. Let's call him Guy. I'm not the guy, buddy.
Well, we'll come up with something suitable for
Sparkle farts.
the ruler of the skies now.
No.
I know what was
That's
it?
perfect.
What was it?
As you're just arguing. Dusty, how you doing?
Close.
But
Sparkle farts. Can we call him Blinky?
Don't bother the dwarf, please. That's like the one thing I don't want you to do.
He's gonna go sit on top of Gadrin's head.
Well, as long as
He's
you
not
don't
gonna like that.
try to hurt
Blinky,
him.
come down from there.
He's kind of looks. He peers his head like down and like upside down into like the dwarf's face. It's like, are you
Come
making
on,
this thing
Blinky.
go?
Let me show you the rest of the ship.
I think it's gonna stay with us, if I'm gonna be honest.
Cool.
With us, so you won't have to deal with it once we get off the ship.
we
Unless-
may
well, then
not
again, it's
wanna
here for the ship.
humor it.
I'll be like, I'll just be like Gadget. Think of
Gad-
it this way.
Gadrin seems annoyed, but like somewhat tolerant of it. Like at the
Gadrin-
point where he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking leave. I'm just gonna let it go.
All pirates have parrots. You're a sky pirate now. You need to have a dragon.
Not a pirate.
Think about it. Think about it. But he could be.
I don't know if we
first
want him to
Do you
be.
see where I'm going with this?
Pirate usually means bad things.
You just see him like muttering to himself, "It's okay. I couldn't have gotten this thing working without them. We'll just calm. We'll just let it go. We'll
This
just
is
let it go."
temporary, I promise.
Let
He's-
it go.
he's
He just
counting
starts
to 10.
humming to himself. Finds his happy place.
The trip continues on,
Okay.
and after another day or so, you guys make it over the reaching woods, and Gadrin sort of hovers the ship, a little bit south of what looks like a small village that lies between the reaching woods and the Sunset Mountains.
Blinky, stay with us.
So,
That's not his name.
It's so his name.
His name is Pip.
Pip, there you go. I like
Call
that
him
name.
Blinky.
Butt Stallion.
I'm on Butt Stallion.
So, he lands the ship, or not so much lands, but he basically like hovers the ship like a couple of feet off the ground, a little bit south of the town, probably about like a half an hour's walk or so outside the town, so as not to like just land it in town and freak everybody out.
You might want to
so-
get legs installed so you can actually land.
It's like, nah. It's like, why would I ever get off this thing? It's like, plus, if I ever need to land, it's a boat. I can just land it in the water and like pull it up to like a dock.
That would work
I
too.
suppose so.
True. Yep.
Do what you like.
Does it have
Fair enough.
infinite fuel or whatever?
Isn't it
Yeah.
magically powered?
It is magically powered.
There you go.
So that means it can fly forever?
Yep.
Okay.
Flies
Uh,
forever until he wants to make the mission where we have to refuel
Powered
it.
by imagination.
Powered by a magical MacGuffin that you fetched for him from the Tomb of the Exile.
All right. Cool.
A thing
is
that
gonna-
you don't know what it does because nobody thought to look at it really before giving it to him.
I know
So-
he did us a favor to get us here. Is he gonna Is he gonna like wait to take us back to wherever
He,
we're going?
he said that he was gonna give us a ride back. So,
So yeah, he tells you it's like, look, despite this rather annoying thing that seems to have stowed away on the ship, and he kind of points to the dragon, who is just like hopping around on like one of the railings. I still owe you guys a lot for helping me realize my dream and getting the ship working.
I think we
So,
should
the-
call
I-
it whatever Zepic's cat's name is, because it looks just like that back behind him, perched on his chair like that. I imagine that's what he does to Gadrin all the time.
If Gadrin had a chair. I also don't understand why Gadrin's got like this weird fucking like the way the wheel works. He's got to like stand to the side of it to actually do it. He can't
Yeah.
stand in front of
Yeah.
it like a pirate
That's
ship.
interesting. I think that should be reversed. Huh.
It's poorly designed. Gadrin's he may have built a really good flying ship, but it's got its problems.
To mention, why would you need anchors on this ship? But
So-
whatever.
Well, you still wanted to make sure it doesn't fly away, but I'm really confused by this part at the front. What does it do? Like open up or close or something?
That is
What,
an
what
excellent
part at the
question.
front?
Well, there's
Does
sails at the
this-
front, but I don't know what they do.
Are
Well,
those
that's-
sails?
Yeah, it's probably just
Or-
for some of the like the trim sails and that, because it is a
thought
full
that
like
was
sail
armor.
ship essentially.
Yeah.
I thought it was attached to the metal, and it's like, oh, you close it up and so you can ram things or something. I don't know.
Kind of cool. There's
So-
a giant sphere on the front of it.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like all that keen on ramming it into things. So
Anyways,
he reaches
I'm
into
gonna
his
look
bag,
at
like
it.
as you guys like, he parks it, lowers a like a rope ladder down for you all to climb down, and he reaches into his pack and he pulls out like a small stone, like about the size of a baseball, and he hands it to Dusty, being the wizardy looking guy. He tells him, it's like, this is a sending stone. Like it connects to one that I have, so that you'll be able to get a hold of me. When your business here is done and you've sorted out all your, whatever you're doing, you get a hold of me, and I'll come back and get you and take you back to Neverwinter.
Cool.
That's the least I can do. But I ain't gonna wait for you. I'm gonna go fly around.
Kind of like look at it, and I slowly bring it to my mouth. And go,
You hear me?
I don't
He's
think talking to it.
he's like directly in front of you. He's like, yes, I hear you. You're right here.
I slowly take it down.
don't think that's how those work.
Alright, it works.
No, that's not how it works at all.
You got it, Dusty.
Like this is
Fucking
Dusty
joke.
reporting in.
He's like turns to like one of the other like one of the rest. He's like, maybe I should have given it to you.
I'll keep an eye on him. Don't worry.
You don't have to make
Badger,
the
do
noise.
you copy? Do you
like,
copy?
"All
It makes the noise.
So he's like, all right. So Allbridge is to the north of you. I put us down about half an hour to an hour outside of town. Yeah, get a hold. Call me back when you call me when you need an Uber.
You keeping the dragon?
Dragon's like, ship's my home. This is my ship now.
All right.
Bring back food.
Have fun then.
Sure it is.
Bring
Yeah,
cake.
it's- Yeah.
We
Okay.
will definitely bring you
I'll
cake.
just-
We will
I'll
definitely
just
try.
Bring cake. It just starts flapping around in front of Dusty's face.
I'll just be like, airship pirate. Think about it.
Just keep an eye on it.
Boing, boing,
Keep an eye on it.
boing.
Be like,
Okay.
sky
I'm
pirate.
gonna give
Okay,
it a quick
I think we're
pat,
good.
And then we're gonna go.
Oh no, I stretched him. Oh god.
Oh no!
It grew.
He used
Okay,
polymorph.
I will
I
climb
need
down
to-
the rope ladder.
The
Yeah.
movement
wherever
thing
it
again
may
with the
be.
space bar.
Hold clef, click, and hold, and then just hit spacebar every time you want to do a little line.
So before I switch to the next map, I'm gonna delete all these little dots.
It's basically holding yourself. The spacebar makes a waypoint. Think of it like that.
Oh no.
There you go, buddy. Got it.
All right. Are we going to a new screen?
Cool.
Or
Yeah, I'm just okay. The fucking X's.
Poof.
I was gonna get rid of all the
One
dots off my
screen.
my map. All right, so you guys have made it to the village of Allbridge.
Get it because there's a bridge.
Pretty much.
That map compass is awesome looking.
I don't think they drew that map
Okay.
compass.
Things are so blurry for me.
Who was
They
I gotta go
remain
back to my
that way.
notes.
So, as you guys like walk away, you see this airship just kind of lift off and just fly away off into the distance.
Control the Z-axis.
One of those is gonna die.
What?
Okay, well,
Well, go,
we're
Gadrin or the dragon?
Yeah.
Well,
Funny.
Gadrin has more HP.
Yeah, but the fairy dragon could
But the
possibly
dragon can
trick him
fart.
off the cliff.
He's not quite old enough to know, what is it, fake terrain or whatever the thing is? Illusionary terrain.
I think he would know his ship though. He'd be like,
Yeah, maybe.
Hey.
He wakes up from a dream and all of a sudden he's just like in a meadow.
oh,
Whoa, what is this?
even worse would be if he wakes up from a dream and he made
Hallucinatory
illusionary
terrain.
terrain to be the ship but sideways.
You can only do it to natural terrain. Well, I guess it's a
Oh,
wooden
yeah.
ship, so wood is natural.
That's
That's a
Okay.
stretch. That's a stretch.
Technically, everything is natural, including.
Well,
stone.
it says open fields or a road can be. Yeah, a road is not natural terrain. A road is a man-made device.
Yeah.
It's on the Earth, I think, is the point.
Anyways, Allbridge.
Yep.
Moving on.
We are looking for Graf Buren. Is that
Yep.
the name?
You-
Yep.
Oh, I guess we should get to doing that.
Do we know what he does?
You know that he lives here, and he's a
He's
curmudgeon.
He's the village crazy guy.
yeah, he's the crazy guy who is writing letters about
Yeah.
a place that extracts souls from the living. Barovia.
So he's probably in the 10 square.
I mean, he's
I realize
eccentric
this
enough.
is-
I'm sure people will know who he is in the town.
Sorry, Pyro.
I realize this is random, but what happened to our other dimensionally friend?
Oh,
Oh.
he stayed in
He's
Neverwinter.
back in Neverwinter.
the cars
Oh.
in Neverwinter.
Yep.
Oh, I should have asked you what I did with my noodle friends in those 4 days, but
With your
we'll deal
what?
with it later.
Oh yeah, you're the rope.
friend.
The noodle friend.
I forgot about your rope. you should have thrown the rope
Just
at the
as-
dragon, and that would have taken care of two problems at once.
I don't think the rope is a problem, just an inconvenience.
Well, for now, until you charm it.
Okay.
Then it's your
Well,
best friend.
Until you
where
crit
are we
fail
looking
and piss
first?
it off and it strangles you to death.
Does the
Alright.
rope talk?
No.
No, it
Now
doesn't.
we're walking. Walk, 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 walk.
Yes, we are.
So where are you guys going?
Walk, walk.
So you guys, as you guys entered the town, you see a small tavern just before like the great stone bridge that crosses the river. It's a pretty nondescript looking little tavern.
Tavern's a tavern. It's a good place for info.
Sign
Get a drink.
outside of it says
Drunken.
it's the Waning Mule. The Waning Mule Tavern. Where is my pencil? How am I supposed to make notes if I don't have a pencil?
With a pen.
Minus
Nice one.
50 XP.
You could set up all your dice in the form of numbers.
No, but I wanted to actually write down. Yay! Alternative pencil.
I mean, you don't really need to write it down. You got the VOD. You can just look at it tomorrow.
Yeah,
Oh.
but that's more work. than
Yeah, that's
looking
way
at
more
pencil.
work. So,
Yep.
now you guys pass by the Waning Mule Tavern.
But we're going to stop in there first.
May as well.
Place as any.
So you enter in. It's pretty rustic inside. You see two or three what you imagine are like townspeople. They look like farm hands essentially, just sitting around eating or drinking. There's just one lone like barmaid that's just like wiping the counter down.
I like how there's a shed like way over here.
That's the outhouse.
That's the old
That's
guy.
That's
the
where
that's
you win.
that's the pat. In this world, they call them the pat.
The pat.
Yeah, the pat.
Bostonian.
Don't mind me. I just need to use the pat for a minute.
Call it the Brady.
Oh.
The shit was in it.
Okay, so
Tom Brady's the shit.
you guys enter in.
In her outhouse.
So
No,
you
'cause I
get kind
didn't
of
find
you get kind of an acknowledgement nod from the barmaid as she's like cleaning the table. You know, it's kind of implied that you like seat yourself, help yourself. There doesn't seem to be any like waiters or waitresses.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's
Well.
see it.
Guessing, well, I guess we're hungry, right? Probably should eat something.
I'm not hungry.
Yeah,
Depends on if we ate on the ship or not.
Yeah, you probably would have eaten
Oh.
on the ship.
Alright, fine then.
If we were on the ship for like multiple days, I assume we've eaten.
Yeah, and you've eaten well. It's been like you
Yeah,
brought
I'll
enough
join you
provisions. You basically stocked that thing to the tits with provisions. Like all those crates in the hold and that's all just full of like food and water. You imagine that he's probably not going to land that thing and restock for a couple months if he can help it. Like,
Just
it's
gonna
like
live
it's like
in the
somebody
air now.
going and buying a new sports car. He's gonna spend like all day and night driving the thing around.
Gonna be a
Isn't
Skydwarf.
Gadrin that dude we saved at the very beginning?
No,
Nope.
No.
That's
That
gonna.
That was Gundren.
No, Gundren's the guy from Gundren's from Lost Mine of
The other-
Phandelver. And you
Helm?
said NPC
Oh,
allies.
the dwarf.
Kalad. Kalad is
Yeah.
the dwarf you saved in
Kalad.
the beginning.
Okay, I'll just walk up to the bartender and be like,
I'm
He
with
doesn't
him.
have a last
"Excuse me,
name.
miss, we're looking for someone named Graf. Do you know who that is?"
You see her just like roll her eyes and just like, ugh. So
Me
yeah,
thinking
every
that a lot.
Saber the Legend Blue.
yeah, basically.
Wow.
Damn.
So
Put
she's
that
like,
up
yeah,
there on
everybody
the
in
internet.
town knows Graf. You know, he
You
has
find him.
he has a house towards the northeast of town. Basically on the eastern road out of here. It's kind of the last house you pass by. You know, it's about as far and isolated from like the rest of the town as it can get, which is kind of how he likes it, and kind of how we all seem to like it.
This one here?
What he?
Holy
he
crap!
caused
I can
problems or
scroll
something?
again. When did that happen? All of a sudden, my scrolling came back.
Do
Yes.
whenever you switched maps.
Yeah,
switched
maybe.
Screens.
Weird.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I thought. That one.
I'm gonna ask him why everyone finds him to be such a bother.
It's like
I imagine you think he's paranoid.
he's been filling like the town, you know, like the town's head, like everyone in the town's heads full of these conspiracy theories, and you know, we've had a lot of, you know, disappearances in the woods to the west over the years, but you know, I imagine it's just wolves or something deadlier that just lurks in there. Like we've told people to try and, you know, to stay out of the woods, but you know, every once in a while we hear tales of adventurers or other people going and rooting around in there and never coming back. But
I guess
he
where we're
seems
gonna go.
he comes along and saying it's some dark evil conspiracy, and yeah, I'm not buying it. It's a shame because when his wife was still alive, you know, he was quite pleasant. They both were. You know,
How did she die?
She disappeared in the woods.
That sucks. Well, thank you for your time.
That sucks.
Remember, my charisma is 8, so...
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
I
she.
think I came with you.
One of my character traits is I literally just say it like it is. I don't
No,
sugarcoat
it's a
anything.
good thing I came with you.
She was a
just in
teacher
case.
and sort of archaeologist, and what was it? Maybe a couple of decades ago now. A couple of scholars from Waterdeep, and or from the Waterdeep area, as well as, you know, a group of adventurers. You know, they came to town wanting to study some ruins in the woods, and his wife, she knew where the fuck is Jocelyn. Jocelyn is what her name was. It's like his wife Jocelyn, you know, she decided to act as guide and take them in there, and they were never seen again. Whatever lurks in those woods must have gotten them. And it seems to have just snapped Mr. Buren's senile old mind. And then she just kind of looks at Dusty and she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't...
Man.
Well, thank you for your time. I will begin to leave the inn.
Yep.
Just walk
I'm
straight
gonna
out.
I'm gonna go ask the
Thank you very
much.
I'm
For her
like,
time.
do you guys make cakes and cookies? Just asking.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah,
She-
asking for a friend.
She tells you that there is a small bakery, like up in towards the town square, and the lady there, you know, has been known to make cakes and stuff like that from time to time, and sweets and all sorts of things like that for the children.
Good
Perfect.
thinking, Jafar.
Thank you.
I'll pat you on the back. Clever and wise paladin.
Why
Alright.
do you like this?
What?
What was Graf's wife's name again? Jocelyn?
Jocelyn.
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 Attempt to spell it however I want.
Okay, I guess we're headed across the bridge then.
Got it.
Even I'm spelling it wrong.
Oh, never.
Oh,
Okay.
wasn't it
I
fucked
guess
that up.
close?
I fucked that up.
I guess wrong.
So I'm guessing you guys are heading over to his house.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you guys make your way through the town. It seems like any other small village.
My way through town.
As you kind of pass through the center of town, you see like there's some kids playing, a few people milling about. Some of them give you kind of like strange looks as you walk by, you being like this big group of adventurers that are just like kind of traipsing through town. You don't really look like the small village going type.
Do I notice that? Yeah, I definitely
Yep.
noticed that.
Oh yeah.
I make weird faces at them.
Okay. They
Like-
just,
I'm
as
ignoring
they
your
like
arm.
once you start
Just
making the
like
weird
that.
face, they immediately like turn away. Like no, I wasn't looking. I was looking over that. I was looking at that bird over there. So
Cool.
you continue on, and you reach a modest dwelling, sort of nestled off on its own on the outskirts of town. her last name Weed? I don't get it.
Fucking
I don't get that
Because-
reference.
Joss Whedon. Jocelyn Weed.
Wow, that
Wow.
that was
That was
big.
kind of
That was
so
big
funny.
stretch.
Obscure.
I don't know.
So you have
No,
made
it's
it
good
to a modest dwelling on the outskirts of town. What do?
Knock on the
I'm
door.
gonna go knock on the door.
Okay. So you guys knock, and you just hear like a faint voice inside. Go away!
Are you?
We're here to
Raph?
talk about Barovia.
Oh, okay. Or that right out there. Yeah, I would have
So
done the
you
same.
you wait a couple minutes, and there's no reply, and nobody comes to the door.
Good.
Adrian Stonehammer, we're here to talk to you. Your buddy Eamon sent us.
His last name is not Stonehammer.
What?
That
Not?
Gajan,
That's not even his name.
Gajan was the
crap,
pilot
wrong
on the
damn
ship.
thing. Son of a...
Graph. Buren.
it.
Suddenly, Dado's pocket starts talking, and it's like, "What? What? You guys ready to go already?"
No,
I was like,
no, fuck, no,
Damn it.
no, we're
The
fine.
wrong name. They're two G names. It's so hard to keep track.
Graf Buren.
Is it? Is it that hard to keep track?
Buried in a paragraph with all the G names. Sorry.
Graf Buren, you're the guy sending all the letters
that's my
to the major cities about the woods, I suppose.
So after a couple of minutes, the door opens a little bit, and you see like one beady eye, kind of like through the crack of the door. You're like, who are you? What do you want?
Eamon the wizard sent us. That is true, right? He actually did. Sure did, yeah.
I don't know anybody by that
We're
name.
here to inquire.
No. That's right. Eamon sent us to Gadrin. It was Captain Belgard who sent us to Graf, wasn't it?
I will.
We're
Inst-
here because we hear that you know a lot about Barovia.
Instead of like
There you go.
doing all this, oh, we're here because of this. He asked, "Who are we?" So I will say, "I'm
What are we
Cassidy
supposed to
Harpel
say?
of the Long Settle Harpels." I have a name.
He kind of like looks you up and down. Is like, I don't know what any of that is.
Yeah,
You don't-
exactly.
What do you-
Yeah, no, he doesn't care.
He wants to know why we're here.
We're kind of a big deal.
Look, we're here about
He's-
soul
I'm
sucking
sure you
machines on the
are.
astral plane. Can you help
We're
us out or
just
not?
we're a bunch of adventurers who have been sent here by other people to inquire about Barovia and this soul-sucking machine.
Specifically, Captain Belgard does.
He just kind of he opens the door sort of the rest of the way, and you see this. He's not quite as old as Dusty, but he's fairly like old man. He's probably 5'10", 5'11". Looks like he may have been in like pretty good shape when he was young, but now he's gotten like fairly old and kind of let himself go.
Yep.
Tends to happen. He's like, where are you from?
Neverwinter.
Waterdeep? No, yeah, Neverwinter. That's right.
The Underdark.
I'm from
So
Neverwinter.
he's like,
Well,
oh.
that's some of us.
Oh, I get it. It's like, so, it was bad enough that, like, Waterdeep and Daggerford, the Cormiers, and the rest of them all sent their people out to laugh at me. But after all these years, your great hero king decides to send a whole entourage to come and make fun of the old man. I get
I
it.
will make fun of
No,
Ugh.
no,
Do I look
no.
like I'm laughing?
We have our old man make fun of. We don't need another one. Like,
Yeah.
we're here because we want to help you.
Can I try to persuade him into believing we're sincere?
Like,
Sure.
I was using a persuasion there.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
So, like, Pyro and Wacky are, like, at the front of the line, just kind of like, it's like, please.
Like, no, I'm sorry. We didn't mean to offend you.
So he's like,
We didn't
fine.
do anything to offend.
You
Yeah.
you get the gist that he's just on auto offend.
Yeah,
But he's-
exactly.
He's salty. He is.
Yeah,
extremely
he's
salty.
old, he's salty. He may not have had the greatest personality to begin with, but then like years of everyone being like, "You're a fucking idiot. What are you talking about?" And like other towns sending like people to be like, it's like, "Oh, that's what you? Oh, that's stupid. Fuck off." And then then leaving has made him a little sour. So he's like, "Fine, come
All
in."
this way, if it wasn't for you, you
He's
know.
like, fine, come in. I'm not getting you anything. And he just kind of like wanders in, and he just kind of he just walks back into the house, and you see him go sit down in a chair, just in front of in the main sitting area. So as you enter the house,
this.
oh yeah, no, that was on the map. You all get electrocuted from the glyph on the.
Oh God!
So
Why would you do that?
you guys enter in, and it seems like it's a decent-sized dwelling for one person to live in, but you notice an awful lot of pairs of things around the room. There's a table with 2 chairs. There are 2 chairs that obviously used to be sitting, pointing to the fire that he's now, kind of shoved in the corner here in this, makeshift seating area. You see a desk in the corner that's just covered in papers and books, and there's all sorts of poorly drawn kind of maps and that pasted all to the walls in the corner here. You also see a bow. He has a fancy long bow sort of hung up above the mantle. It seems to be the only thing in here that's really been treated with any reverie. It seems to be the only thing in here that's nice, and that he's actually
nudge Vidania and be like, "Do not attempt to steal that."
Yeah,
I already have one.
it's basically it's just a fancy long bow with a big crystal embedded into the handle.
I may want to steal that now.
Don't do it.
I'll wink at him and be like, I won't. I promise.
So
Let me
he's
insight check that.
How come
So-
every time you say something you wink? I nod.
so,
I'm not sure I believe you.
so he's like, what? So what exactly are you doing here then? If you're not here to have a laugh at your king's expense, or at my expense on behalf of your king, then why are you here?
That's what you know about soul sucking.
That's not
Sorry,
the
did I
right
We're
phrase that wrong?
okay.
That's-
We are here because we have heard about the machine that sucks souls out of people, and it's supposedly located in a place called Barovia, and you seem to know a whole lot about it.
Soul-sucking.
Tells you it's not a machine. It's Barovia itself.
Excuse me?
There's
Somehow I had a feeling.
there's a place. It
Come again?
used to be a real kingdom, some 200 years or so ago, as far as I can tell. A dark curse fell upon that land, and it went through its share of bad times. He basically sort of goes into a brief recount of what happened, and he tells you that about a couple hundred years or so ago, the lord of the land called Barovia, a Strahd von Zarovich, had some shit happened. He he ended up killing his brother and his brother's bride, who he coveted, some woman named Tatiana, and it basically became an undead monster ruling over the land, and the land became trapped in sort of an parallel, not dimension, but in an alternate plane of existence. He said, as far as I can tell, a group of heroes, some 200 years ago is the best guess I can find, went through, defeated Strahd, and freed Barovia, returning it back to the material plane. But sometime after that, Barovia returned to the dimension from whence it came. It seems that somebody or something has reset it, and ever since then, it has remained.
Hit the reset button.
It has remained as a perpetual dimension, luring people in. So he tells you, this wizard that sent you to me, did he explain to you the nature of soul energy?
Nope.
Somewhat?
No.
Tells you,
No? Okay.
most wizards and some necromancers believe that there's a great amount of energy in a mortal's soul. Extracting it, especially all in one dose, and basically just sucking the soul dry immediately will yield a fair amount of energy. But if you just take a little bit at a time, like milking a cow, you can continue to absorb energy from it slowly for decades before the soul finally just gives out completely. And that way you can yield far more. The problem is, once you run out of souls, then you've got to replace them. It's like whoever set up, whatever changed Barovia into what it is now, has done so as a method of luring in people to replace the souls that get used up. There's only so much in Barovia, soul-wise, that once the souls become used and wither away, new ones must be cultivated and to sort of spread around and keep the whole thing going.
So, once you use up a soul, is that it? Are they just gone forever?
Oh yeah,
They just blink out of existence.
pretty much.
That sucks.
It's like butter scraped over too much bread. So
how long does the soul sucking process usually take? If you're stretching it out.
it's hard to say. Not many people return from Barovia to tell the tales of it. From what I've gathered, Barovia has been reset to the way it was before the first heroes defeated Strahd and freed the land. Strahd has been resurrected as not a sepulture, that's the wrong word I'm looking for. Basically as a almost simulation of his former self. He's basically just
Simulacrum?
No, that's
a
that is what that's what a
Like a
simulacrum.
shell of his former
It's
self.
basically it's what's the word? Starts with
Shadow?
C. I'm so close to knowing this word.
Clone?
Clone?
No. Kind of like
Copy?
what you'd call a robot type of thing.
Cyborg?
Construct. Thank you. So he basically tells Strahd has been sort of resurrected as a construct, keeping his, retaining his memories, but essentially allowing him to be killed or not killed over and over again as new people enter the realm to replace the souls. Those who die, their souls remain forever trapped in Barovia and just sort of add to the harvest. And any that manage to escape and defeat Strahd, they leave, and Barovia resets and draws in its next victims. And so
Well,
this
but
cycle's
just-
been continuing on.
It doesn't just happen on its own. Somebody had to engineer this. Who did this?
That's
That's the
what-
question, isn't it?
That's the big question. He sort of says up and he kind of walks around a bit as he's telling you this. Goes and stares at the bow he's got hung up on the wall. Says, it's believe it or not, I was there. I escaped Barovia almost 50 years ago. Myself and my group of companions, we managed
Oh, you dare.
to scrape by and just barely kind of get ourselves out of there. And once we went our separate ways, I met my wife, here in this town, and we just kind of settled here. I had no urge to return to the real world. I had made plenty of enemies before I ever made it to Barovia. But it's I'm sure whoever sent you here to me, I'm sure has already told you what happened to my wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No need to recount that.
Nice. Jocelyn disappeared in those woods almost 20 years ago. I warned her not to go. after no word from her or her companions for a few days, I spent the better part of 3 weeks in those woods trying to return to that cursed land to go get her. But it appears once you leave Barovia, you are no longer welcome back.
It only wants word and souls.
So, tells you it's like, I learned of my wife's fate several weeks later. The only one that managed to survive their trek was the cleric from the adventuring party that accompanied her and the researchers.
Remember his name?
Yeah, his name wasn't important. I explained to him how, he apologized for putting my wife in such danger, and I allowed him the most gracious thing that I could think of at the time. I gave him a 10-second head start down the road before I took down my bow and put an arrow in the back of his head. Believe it or not, he made it about a good 300-400 feet.
Fast man.
That as far as he made it?
Oh yeah. He's now buried in the town cemetery.
Oh, okay then.
How long of a head start did you give him?
10 seconds. Well, to the count of 10.
Your channel timed out.
To the count of 10.
Okay. I was just checking the math there on something real quick. Now you're good. I believe it.
So, it's like ever since she disappeared, I've devoted my life to studying Barovia in the hopes of finding whoever created this thing and destroying them and destroying it. Oh, insight check? Yeah, you believe him. You totally believe that he was there and that he murdered some cleric for causing his wife to die.
I feel like if you played the wife angle more, that you'd have a lot more people on your side there. Not to be too
User
intrusive
entered your channel.
or nothing like that. I'm just saying because everyone thinks you're nuts. But, I mean,
He just sort of like looks at you. He's
Rusty.
like, perhaps I
Rusty.
am. It's like maybe I am nuts. It's hard to tell at this point.
well, I mean, with
Really,
the
we're not here
whole
to judge.
thing that you just told us, it feels a lot more believable than just you being some crazy guy writing letters and stuff. I don't know. I don't know the whole thing. I don't know what you've told people or not, but I feel now. I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Considering we're here because we have corroborating evidence that it's true.
So yeah, it's like, so perhaps if there is some link to the because you guys kind of like explain. I'm assuming you guys just take a minute to kind of just give him a quick rundown of like why you're there and like what led you here in the first place. He's like, well, like I don't know anything about all that, but if it is linked to whoever created or whoever is maintaining this place, I would like it stopped. I would very much like it stopped. And to answer your question, Bones, you do believe like everything he said. When he talks about like just murdering that cleric, like just straight up murdering him, you don't really get any sense of guilt or
remorse.
and you get the feeling that killing is not new to him, that he sort of says it in a way that makes you think it's like the death of others is something he was possibly once quite skilled at.
Can I tell if it's like, I don't know, like, I guess my question is he's not evil though, he's just miserable, right?
Yeah.
He's not,
He
he's
definitely.
not malicious is what I'm saying.
You
Well,
don't.
That was malicious, I see it.
Yeah, you don't think so. You don't think he really cares about your safety in any way.
Okay, but he's not giving me like the creepy vibe, right?
No, just more to like the asshole vibe.
Got it. Okay. That's reasonable.
Since you've been there, what should we expect there?
More importantly, how the hell do we get there?
He just kind of like looks at you and smiles. He's like, "Oh, don't worry, getting there is the easy part. Once you're there, expect a harsh and uncaring world."
Been there, done that.
Yeah, we're pretty used to that.
He tells you that if it's anything like his original trip, to sort of ask around, the source of whatever is. He tells you that, like, whatever's farming the soul energy, it has to be channeling through something or going somewhere. Like, it's not just gonna collect it and, like, pool it, and, like, it has to. All this energy has to go somewhere. He tells you, like, there must be some kind of, you know, focal point of all this dark energy that is collecting all this. That is what you need to find. If it helps, I don't think it would be in Strahd's castle. I think it would be hidden, probably somewhere, you know, far away from, you know, people wandering in and finding it. You know, I don't know. It would look for. You need to try and find some kind of font of dark energy or some place where dark forces gather. Castle Ravenloft, I would imagine, over all these years, has been quite thoroughly vexed. I know, like myself, we combed most of that castle looking for Strahd when we fought our way out of there. So, I'll save you the trouble of looking there, but...
Probably some good loot in there, though.
There's probably good loot anywhere. It's like, what?
And a sun sword is in there. Who knows? But I would know what that is.
He's like,
You
yeah.
would not know.
He tells you, to Pyro's comment about the loot, he's like, yes, some things do persist to the world. I was once in possession of a blade, of a sword that the blade was made entirely of sunlight.
God damn it.
There was some prophecy upon obtaining it, and it was needed to fight Strahd off in the first place. But once we returned, you know, shortly after we left, it just disappeared. Whether some pickpocket ran off with it or the world of Barovia took it back, I'll never know. I do still have that, and he points to the fancy bow sitting over his mantle. Like, that originated in Barovia and still remains here as a sick reminder of my time there.
Maybe when it's reset to an earlier time before that bow is made.
But if that happens, then what will he have had to shoot that guy who ran away with?
What?
No, it won't like delete it from the timeline. No, he thinks that there must be, you know, the land itself must generate objects of power. Like the land is so sort of powerful and accursed into itself that it can just create magical items.
Swords, just like...
It's like a
Well, no, the sun sword disappeared. It seems like the sun sword was of some kind of importance and was taken back.
like a roguelike pyro. The important parts have to be in there at all times.
Yeah. But like, yeah, this fancy bow that he's got, this fancy magical bow, like it let him leave with this. He tells you, he's like, yeah, the money was still there. That's what I used to buy this house. Who would have thought I'd be like thanking that fucking vampire fucknut Strahd for buying me my house?
Doesn't like Strahd.
Doesn't like anything.
I'm sure we're not gonna like Strahd either.
Wacky knows.
So he tells you that, you know, if you do intend to go to this land, I'll just spend a night in the just spend some nights in the woods to the west of here. I can't remember what that wood's called, but whatever. It's like just
Western wood.
just wander deep into the woods to the west. Go in as deep as you can, make camp,
That's what
and
she
just
said.
wait. Sooner or later, Barovia will find you.
Hey. Okay.
That's a whole level of pregnancy metaphor I don't want to get into.
So
Okay then.
So he gets up and he goes wanders over his desk. He starts like shuffling papers and like moving shit out of the way, and he comes back with 6 sort of metal amulets. He's like, "Here, take these with you," and they look very homemade, kind of like a traditional like good luck charm, kind of on like a string. It's like these. I'm not much of a magician, but I did have a mage, help me out from time to time for a while, and we managed to create these. I don't know if they work, but these amulets may allow you to stave off some of Barovia's negative effects.
Cool.
It's the best I can do for you.
What negative effects are there in Barovia?
The soul sucking.
Other than that,
Well,
we have
no,
to
the-
die.
The soul sucking will be like these again.
You
You
say
don't
that
you don't have to
for
worry about the
20
soul sucking unless you die. It's like if you
Or
die
live
in
for 20
Barovia,
years.
your soul will be trapped there forever, and then they basically just find its way into the cycle. Unless of course you were like returned to life in there. Like, for instance, like when you died and were resurrected, then you can keep going, but it's like after a while, if you guys just died and never came back to life, your souls would just kind of mingle in the, you could add it to the repository. But it basically tells you, just like, no, that, the land, Barovia has its way of twisting, and, it is an entire world almost bent to Strahd's will. He controls much of it. So be wary of that.
Is that all you can? Is that the best you can tell us? Is there anything else we might want to know before we go?
I think, what do you want to know?
Just more about like maybe where we should look. Really, is what I'm looking for.
That's-
Like,
He doesn't know.
Not the cat.
Because
I don't know.
he didn't know
I
these
was-
things
I
when he was
looking
there.
for, like, I know. I was looking for like hints or not hints, but his intuition. What does his intuition say?
Well, he
Not the
gave
castle is basically what he
It
said.
he gave that to you already. He said
Okay.
like for some
it's
it's basically you're gonna have to like ask around, and he said like look for some kind of font of dark energy or some place where
Enough for me.
dark power gathers.
don't know if it would have like stayed or anything, but anybody you made friends with in there that we could potentially try to find as well, like to help us basically.
He tells
Someone
you
not
that
trying to kill us.
he tells you that like allies will be few and far between in Barovia, and if you're smart, you're not going to trust anybody. Everyone in that place has their own agenda, and more often than not, their agenda is aligned with Strahd's.
Like treats, sweets, stuff in there.
Oh
Special
well, I
service.
mean,
Like,
technically
well,
we know about some.
It's like, oh, I remember a woman selling pies. Perhaps you
Yeah.
can.
For some reason, your character does not know this, and you're struck and dead.
Okay, well that's good enough. Shall we?
What were the amulets called? I just called mine amulet of anti-Barovia.
That's good enough. They don't really have a name.
Homemade amulet.
Just
Parentheses anti-Barovian. Barov.
he's like I can't.
There we go.
It's like
Got it.
don't mind me, but I really don't think you're going to be successful. But it'd be kind of nice if you were. I have no love for this town anymore, and I would very much like to just leave and go somewhere else, as far away from this place as possible.
Well, we've made it out of bad situations before. How bad could this one be?
All right. Well, do we?
just
well,
have to say
You
it.
you do you do
Like,
seem
slowly turn around to
so,
her.
well you
Yeah,
do
like,
seem
you
at least like a little
have to
bit
say
smarter
it.
than my companions were, so I'm sure you'll do fine.
All right.
And I'm sure they weren't all done.
Watch one of us die in there. Because
Was this
you
your
had
character's
to
epic?
Say it.
My
Like,
character
out-
wasn't
out
named
of
Graf Buren.
No.
But I mean, like, is this guy from another campaign that you know? Just curious.
Mm. Who knows what his backstory is?
Back story.
Anyways. All right. Well, shall we go to the woods
Did I
then?
have a picture of this guy that I ever showed you guys?
You just take.
We never saw a picture.
Oh, yeah, I did have it. I forgot. I did have a picture of him. There we go. I forgot I had a picture of him.
Dusty is older than that. Gee, he's
Dusty's like 80. This guy's
looks
like
60s or
70s.
70s.
Yeah, this guy's basically 70.
I'm 80.
70, yeah, or he's like mid 70s. Because he was like early 20s when he went into Barovia.
I bet he was like professor for like 10 years.
All right. Well, shall we go to the woods and move it along?
Yeah, let's, I mean, we're gonna spend the night, weren't we?
Yeah.
Before
That's
heading
the
out?
plan.
in the woods.
The woods. That's right.
Oh, no, I thought here.
Well,
Okay.
no matter where we spend the night.
Might as
Yeah.
well go to the woods. I mean,
Well, you need to be in the woods at night, so spending the night here is kind of pointless.
counterproductive. Yeah,
that's
exactly.
You're basically just wasting
let's
a
get going.
day if you do that.
Go. To the north.
I'm gonna go find that the bakery person first before we go. Also, potions. I don't know how many of those we have or who used any.
I think I still have
We
all
all
of
have-
mine.
We all have an herbal healing potion, Pyro. And no, we don't know what it does.
Does
And-
something.
I'll say you
have-
ask Graf before leaving, and he tells you it's like, yeah, no, we don't have an apothecary out here.
There's much.
Okay. Someone's gonna
We have a woman that makes salves out of like herbs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like if you burn yourself, it's kind of soothing, but that's about it.
I would leave the bakery because we might be a while.
Yeah, there's no
I know.
point.
I'm just gonna go to the bakery, see what they have,
Put in an order.
just
be like,
get an idea.
I'll come and
Ask
pick
around
this up
prices.
later.
You need to turn around, ask, we can get some snacks in Barovia. Let's go.
Well, I wouldn't
To
do
the north.
that,
We can
but
get them both.
To the west.
I wouldn't get pies in Barovia, but I
I
don't know
bet
that.
the pies there are delicious.
We go to the western woods, please.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. So
Go.
you guys head to the woods. You spend the rest of the day and into the evening sort of just pushing your way deeper and deeper into the woods. Like you guys get basically into like the center of that forest where like the trees and that are just stupidly thick. You manage to find yourself a small clearing, like just big enough that you can create a little campsite.
Cool.
So you set up camp, and you spend the evening. The night rolls by. You all just kind of sit around. Nothing's really happening. To the point where eventually it's getting really late. You all start to drift off. So you all
Do you have an
drift.
alarm spell?
You can have Dusty set alarm, but the problem is like if he sets alarm in like an area, stuff could still come from like other areas.
I was just curious if
It's,
you had
it's a
it.
20-foot radius.
We're all sleeping in a circle.
Yeah, it's a it's a 20-foot cube. So everyone would have to sleep within that 20-foot cube.
I really didn't want you to cast it. I was just curious if you had it.
Yeah, I have it. I
Okay.
am capable of casting it.
That's good enough.
Just make sure Graf didn't. Did Graf forget to tell you anything? No. Doesn't look like it. If that is his real name. So you guys fall asleep. Lawaj begins meditating, doing his elf bullshit. And you were all awoken by the sounds of like a rattling like a wooden rattling in the trees, just a little bit east of you. It sounds like a carriage, like an old wooden carriage, and it rattles for a second. It's approaching, and it rattles and it gets louder and louder, and then it kind of stops, and then you hear like the braying of a couple of horses, and this seems to be about, I don't know, like not even 100 feet to the east of you, sort of just outside the like the field of vision of your campfire. You also notice, as you all sort of bolt awake, that it has gotten much colder. Like the temperature has dropped precipitously, and like the air feels much wetter. You would imagine like perhaps like it's gotten like a lot colder and foggier since you went to sleep. But it's kind of hard to tell if it is foggy because you can only see like a little area around you from the campfire.
Cool.
Well, let's.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to sleep.
Probably
no.
investigate.
Investigate the carriage. Garage.
Yeah. Well, I'll at least listen and see if I can hear anybody talking or walking or just anything.
Did it sound like the door opened so someone could come out? Or did it just stop?
It's too far away for you to tell that minute of a detail. Unless the door was like really, really creaky and squeaky.
I did pretty good on this stealth check.
Oh.
You
I'm
wanna
also not
about
looking
the-
at chat.
Yeah, I was listening, so.
But yeah, no, all you hear is the horses. You hear what sounds like two horses that are kind of braying and like sort of stomping the ground occasionally.
I'll whisper for
If
Dusty
only
to
we
put
could
out the fire.
understand them.
That's if you didn't have a druid.
Yeah.
Oh god, don't remind me.
I feel like that wouldn't even help.
Yeah.
I say we send our rogue to go investigate sneakily.
Equally.
That's
Sneakily.
I mean,
I could do it as well.
Nope,
we're
nope,
here
nope.
to get
Let Balaj do the thing.
taken.
That is true.
I feel like a carriage is a thing to be taken in.
Well, as soon as I said let's investigate, people were like, "No, why would you want to investigate that? That's a stupid idea."
I said I'm going back to sleep.
Investigate. I just want to go towards it.
All right, well let's.
And
wake
I
up.
will follow.
I'll grab all my shit. Wake up.
Me to bed? Yes. That is what I recommend. Just go to sleep. Ignore it.
I'm gonna
I'm really
kick
not
fire
feeling this.
out and go.
Okay, so
It's
the few of you that do approach, you kind of push through the trees towards the source of the sound, and you notice almost a tunnel. You basically you step out into a large clearing. It's probably about 40, 50 feet wide, and it just carries sort of kind of north to south, not perfectly, but you seem to have like stepped out of the woods onto a road. And the confusing thing is that you didn't pass by this road when you walked this way. And standing on the road is a large black wooden carriage that seems to be pulled by two almost skeletal horses. They basically look like horse skeletons with like this gray skin just kind of stretched over them. Like they look completely emaciated, but other than that, they seem healthy enough. And that they're moving around with their sort of slightly red glowing eyes.
Yeah, they're kind of Thestros, but we haven't seen murder.
We've
so
killed so many people.
I don't know if we killed people.
That's true.
NPC. Oh no, it's hand.
Lots of things.
We've totally killed people.
You kill people.
Killed sentient things.
Our orcs people. Come on.
You kill the people
Damn.
in
Alright,
the,
okay,
in the
humanoids.
sewers with like the guns and shit. We killed them.
I wasn't there.
Jesus.
Anyways, let's
So, as you all kind of, the few of you that emerged from the woods into this, the horses kind of look at you and kind of acknowledge your presence in the way like a horse would. They just seem to notice you, and they seem to be like stamping their feet a little bit more and kind of kicking. And you see the large door on the side of the carriage open.
And is there anyone inside?
Are you going to approach and take a look?
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yep.
Okay. You take a look, and no, there's nobody inside.
Getting in.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm guessing this is for us.
At
This
this
is my
point, I
ride.
was like,
It's
we're
like-
not coming back. Fine.
This is my
I
aesthetic.
get up and I go.
So I'm guessing everybody climbs into the ghost carriage.
Like, we're all
Alright.
climbing. Okay, we're climbing into this. Fine,
There's
guys.
There's like candy in there or something.
Yeah.
It's dark.
All of your favorite foods are inside.
I want some more
Most-
Turkish delight.
Yeah, I was gonna say mostly Turkish delight.
So you all climb in, the door closes, and the horses begin to trot on, and eventually they get up to speed, and the windows of the carriage are all pretty much blacked out. They're all kind of grimy and black, and you can't really see. And the carriage basically speeds off. It's not a very comfortable ride. It's a lot of bouncing on sort of rough road, not like nice cobblestones or anything like that. But the horses speed on, and you're in there for what seems like a few hours. Eventually, dawn breaks. Some bits of light kind of like come through the cracks of the carriage, and you're able to tell it's like, oh, sun's out, or it's like it's daytime. And after a while, eventually the carriage slows down and comes to a stop. And you are let out in front of a monstrous stone structure. I should really almost just add all of these to the regular journal. Save myself having to do this.
Engage.
So,
Is there a pat nearby?
a what?
For what?
Arrow.
A Brady.
Oh.
We're
Wow.
in the woods.
So,
Go
Everywhere is your Brady.
the fog spills out of the forest to swallow up the road behind you. Ahead, jutting from the impenetrable woods on both sides of the road, are high stone buttresses looming gray in the fog. Huge iron gates hang on the stonework. Dew clings with cold tenacity to the rusted bars. Two headless statues of armed guardians flank the gate, their heads now lying among the weeds at their feet. They greet you only with silence.
I like how you can actually see. I want to say Barovia in the background for no reason. Or not Barovia, Castle Ravenloft.
Ravenloft. You might actually be able to see Ravenloft from not there. You'd see it from the right side, maybe. Oh, no,
Yeah,
maybe.
I think this image actually might have been flipped because it should be the other way around. Anyways, so is the carriage approaching the?
So the carriage basically has stopped and the door has opened, and you've all kind of
Oh.
poked your heads out, and the carriage seems to just be letting you off, or it seems to be making no. It seems to be making no attempt at moving any further forward.
Worst Uber ever. Doesn't even take us the whole way.
And I get out. And I pat
Yeah.
the horses' heads. Pet them.
You know they're dead, right?
You like.
They're
If anything,
horses.
you'd probably,
you, like,
if anything, you
break
probably
it.
wouldn't like that.
They're horses.
They're undead.
They're dead.
But they're horses. It's not their fault.
Typically, horses themselves don't even like getting petted.
Alright, are we
Most
going through these
undead,
gates?
it's not their fault.
Yeah,
so-
Someone
Probably
else.
I'll get out of the carriage, I guess, if nobody else has.
No, we're all out.
So, after you guys kind of are standing there outside the carriage for a couple of minutes, the horses kind of turn around and the carriage starts to trot off back down the path. Sooner rather than later, the carriage just disappears into the fog, and you kind of get a look around, and it's definitely morning, but there is sort of an oppressive gray fog that seems to be covering everything. So you can't really see too much further back down that road you came from. So who knows how far you've come or where those horses disappeared to. But ahead of you is looming the gigantic iron gates. They are open. almost welcoming.
Then I guess that's where we're headed.
Yep, let's go.
Alright, so... So, you pass through the...
Dark.
I can't see
Yeah,
anything.
it's black.
Oh, you know why?
Because none of us have sight.
No, so this thing has sight. How am I going to do this? Oh, you know, if I... Do you remember how to make a single object that you can all see?
I mean, if you right-click it and
Put on the token layer.
give everyone access to the light. What do you mean? Like you just want... Oh, because...
It's a map that's
Yeah.
dark, but I have one token with light that is supposed to be... It's like my star you are here token that I want all of you to be able to see.
Check off all players have sight or something.
Yeah, but the problem is no players can access it.
Wow.
If I just do this, that's a temporary thing. Okay. You should be able to see it now.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Oh, you gave everyone access.
I gave everybody access to it for now.
Yeah.
It's more of a short-term means to an end, anyways. So, you guys continue moving down the road through the woods. Towering trees whose tops are lost in the heavy gray mist block out all but a death gray light. The tree trunks are unnaturally close to one another, and the woods have the silence of a forgotten grave, yet exude the feeling of an unvoiced scream.
Forgot how weird the language is for this place.
So,
Unvoiced scream.
So you guys continue moving forward along the road until eventually it opens up into a clearing. Through the fog, you are able to sort of make out a river to your left that seems to like wind around. And if you continue following the road, there seems to be some kind of town or village ahead of you. So, what do you want to do?
I mean,
assume we're headed
gotta
for
go
the
through
village?
Well,
Oh, yeah,
yeah, we're
yeah,
going
like-
there.
Like, what are we gonna do? Check out the river?
I'm gonna just
I
turn
don't
around.
know.
Like,
Just
you know
turn
what?
around.
No, just where we're now.
Dusty, come back.
We changed our
back.
minds. We go home.
I think I
Just
just...
Like,
fuck
if you
all
call the
this.
Uber to come back.
Just-
So,
Come get us
Yeah,
now.
we're
I'm
going for
scared.
the village.
so you guys continue on for, a couple more hours. Maybe it's not quite that long. Yeah, it's good. It's a few miles, a couple hours, we'll say, down the road, and tall shapes loom out of the dense fog that surrounds everything. The muddy ground underfoot gives way to slick, wet cobblestones. The tall shapes become recognizable as village dwellings. The windows of each house stare out from pools of blackness. No sound cuts the silence except for mournful sobbing that echoes through the streets from a distance.
That's pleasant.
Sounds lovely.
And you guys have made it.
Hmm.
Put that there.
Cool.
Okay.
I've seen this
Boy.
map before.
I've seen this map so many times.
Why did it you guys go to the map, but I didn't? That was a little weird. So yeah, you have arrived in some kind of village.
Don't go into the house.
Which one?
There's a lot of houses.
Ghost
Yeah.
house.
It was this
Ghost
one, wasn't
house.
Anyways, we don't know which house it is. So, we should probably... I don't know. We kind of have to pass through here, but... The
mean,
place
it's
we're
a
looking
town,
for is not a
so-
town, though.
But we should start somewhere.
No, I mean, we know it's not going to be somewhere that people are
In here,
going to
yeah, I
stumble
agree.
up on it.
Yeah, for sure.
So this is kind of just a stop in the, like, just morning. We got to keep going.
Yeah, it's probably closer to lunchtime. And actually, it's probably lunchtime or so now, we'll say. By the time you arrived, in off your thing, walked down the road to the village, we'll say it's about lunchtime.
Alright, well, let's find an inn. Get some food.
Does a place like this have an inn?
Yeah.
Everywhere
Sure
has an
does.
inn.
The town, I mean.
People got to eat, even if they're
Pretty
soulless.
shitty looking town.
Yeah.
But it's not like Shadowfell where everything's undead or anything. It's just a town.
Yeah,
Shitty
you
one.
do notice a very distinct lack of people. There doesn't seem to be any like townsfolk like milling about, but the town itself doesn't really look abandoned. Like it doesn't look like the houses are in a deplorable state of disrepair. Like some of them look kind of shabby, but they all look like a lot of them like seem fairly tall and you know, they look like nice enough houses. They don't look like hovels by any means. So,
I'm just gonna start walking this way.
I mean, the only thing that we heard
was
of
moaning.
is the sobbing. Of,
Yep,
Yeah.
you did hear some strange sobbing coming from somewhere in the town.
It's pretty miserable around here.
Yeah. The
Go this
fog will do
way.
that.
Yeah.
So
well,
you guys,
Walk.
you guys begin making your way through the town. As you sort of walk down what you imagine is probably one of the main streets, occasionally you catch glimpses of, you know, what might be townspeople, like looking at you from windows or like upstairs windows. When you turn back to look at them, like they're not there anymore. You know, you get the distinct feeling you're being watched. And as you continue west along the road, the sobbing and moaning that you heard sort of from the outskirts does get louder and more pronounced. You kind of have a feeling it's coming from sort of like this way somewhere. It now actually has sort of a direction to it, but besides that moaning and sobbing, like, it's just deathly silent in the town.
Try to go about here, so you're in crossroads.
That's where you want to be.
Once where like everything is, so we want to know like what's all around us.
So,
Is there
You
what looks
see-
like an inn anywhere?
north here, you see a single shaft of light thrusting illumination into the main square. The brightness looking like a solid pillar in the heavy fog. Above the gaping doorway into like what looks like some big building hangs is a sign hanging partially askew, proclaiming it to be the Blood on the Vine Tavern. Over here, you see a larger building that seems to have... Yeah. So, you see a building here with a sign, like an old worn-out sign over the door, that says Bill Drafts Mercantile. Do you imagine that must be some kind of general store or something like that? But looking at it, it seems like nobody's home. Like, there's no light anywhere inside, so if it is a store, it doesn't seem open for business right now. Perhaps they're out to lunch. I
Hey,
mean, maybe there's only one employee and he's having his lunch break.
I say we go see what's in the tavern here.
And then
Agree.
the sobbing and crying and that's coming from this way.
We'll leave that for a later time.
Or never.
Or never. I agree.
Gaming for a reason. This was going to keep resetting, so no point in trying to fix anything.
Place is pretty creepy anyway, so.
Well, if you guys stop it, it'll never reset again. Like if you guys like fix it, if you guys break the cycle, then maybe you'll actually have made a difference.
Sounds like we're in the Matrix all of a sudden.
yeah.
So you head into the tavern.
Sure.
Yep.
So you approach the tavern, you step inside. It seems like a somewhat well-kept tavern. Inside, you find 3 women at a table by the front door. They're dressed in very kind of billowy, not fancy, but very like colorful clothes, almost gypsy-like. They kind of remind you of the Vistani that you met outside of Evernight in the Shadowfell. You also see a lone man way off in the back corner, slowly drinking out of a mug, and you see what looks like a short, pudgy man behind the bar, and he's not at the bar. He seems to be kind of like he's got his back pressed up against the wall, and he's staring. Him and the man like that I first mentioned are both kind of very intently staring at a very regal, well-dressed man sitting at a table towards the back, who seems to just be kind of swirling a glass of wine. You know, he's wearing clothes that give off an air of importance or royalty. I mean, his pale gray flesh is kind of like a harsh contrast to the dark red wine he's just kind of swirling around in his glass. In fact, he looks a lot like this.
Oh.
Does he now?
Name's
Yeah, right?
there.
Right out the
Wow,
gates.
That is Strahd von Zarovich.
So
Well,
he does seem to sort of match the description of Strahd that your friend Graf Buren, if that is his real name, gave you.
You know, the more you say if that was his real name, you know it's not his real name.
Why am I suddenly very suspicious?
I wonder why be such a shitty place like this.
Hell, I'm not gonna ask
sit
him.
here and be like,
Nah, fuck that. They're here.
So,
it's like these little
Your
dogs.
presence seems to draw the attention of the well-dressed man in the corner, and he stands up and looks at the group of you as you're sort of walking in, and gives you a very slow, courtly bow, and says, "Ah, I see we have visitors. Welcome. Welcome to Barovia. I do not believe I have made your acquaintance." And he slowly just like wanders over to your
I
table.
was gonna go talk to the women, but okay, fine.
They seem to be like ignoring you and just kind of staring at. All eyes seem to be on this man for some reason. Like he must be some kind of celebrity or something.
Something like that.
Lady Gaga.
Oh, I
Or
just
somebody
noticed
else.
just the way the door swings is on this map.
Roll to read his poker face.
Seems perfectly calm and friendly, as far as you can tell.
Never mind. Lady Gaga joke.
It's like, so, what brings you to our beautiful land of Barovia?
About that.
The women, apparently.
We got lost.
I'm just looking around all you guys like, that's not why we're here.
We got lost.
Come on, guys. We know the answer to it. It's a carriage. That's what brought us to Barovia.
Christ.
Fell asleep in like.
I'll just kind of
some
look at you guys like, I
forest.
thought we were here to stop the soul-sucking machine.
We're lost.
Lost.
I'm just gonna
Definitely
keep
lost.
talking over Bones.
He's like, ah, I see. And where is it that you come from?
Nowhere.
Nah, that way.
None of your business.
Be rude.
1, 2, 3, Venus Lane.
Yeah, so... Oh, no, that's your insight check from... I'll say even without an insight check, you all sort of sense an air of menace in this man.
That
Right.
insight check was from like forever.
Yeah, I know. But, I mean, like, you just innately, you detect sort of an air of just menace. But he's also seems to be being very polite and forthcoming. but
hostile yet?
he doesn't seem to be. You don't see him like making any like hostile gestures or anything like that.
Can I look at the barkeeper and just kind of like get a read on his personality? Not,
Sure.
I just want to see if he's like nervous. Perception or insight?
Give me insight.
Insight. Like if he looks like he's about to like duck and cover, maybe we should be concerned.
Oh yeah, no, he looks absolutely fucking terrified.
Oh boy, that's
You noticed he's watched this man ever since you came in. You noticed he's been just staring at this guy like almost unblinking.
Like every bartender, he's been polishing the same glass for a while.
Yeah, he's like you can see cracks starting to form. He's been like squeezing this thing so hard.
boy, oh boy.
Like, we're
It's
lost.
like-
What brings you here?
You seem a bit too good for this
I've-
place.
I was merely visiting an acquaintance, but it seems that she is indisposed at the moment. Perhaps I shall call again later. He goes over, gently places his wine glass down on the bar counter,
Wine glass. Sure.
and says, "Like, very gracious of you, Eric. I will now be taking my leave." And he starts
While
like,
he's walking past me, I ask him, like, do you know where we could find good pies?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It was lovely meeting you.
it's like pies. Yes, I hear that there is a lady in this town who sells pies. She has a small cart, and she occasionally comes to town to sell her wares. Perhaps she will sell some to you. In any case, I do hope you enjoy your stay here. I trust we will be meeting again sometime soon.
I'm sure.
It's like as he continues to leave, he's kind of like takes a glance at Wacky, and he sees that amulet that that your friend Graf Buren, if that is his real name, crafted for you, and he says, "What an exquisite little homemade keepsake." And he sort of like approaches you and kind of doesn't like take it, but he like reaches up and actually like picks it up, like sort of like off your neck, and just kind of like looks at it. Give me an insight check, Wacky.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're obliviating us.
So it's like,
My
how?
friend made it for me.
It's like, yes, how intriguing. Well, I trust that you will enjoy your stay. I hope to see you soon.
It's a lovely place.
Same here.
Then he basically walks out the door, and after a minute, you hear a very familiar, like, wooden, like, rattling, and the sounds of what sounds like maybe a carriage or something like that pulling up in front of the tavern, and then you hear a couple of horses, and then you hear the rattling sort of disappear off into the distance.
Well, we know whose carriage that was.
What a nice man.
What was that all about?
Seems legit.
So that was a
Bartender
nice
like
guy.
runs over and basically like pokes his head out, looks around, and then closes the door. He's like, "What do you mean?"
I'm still trying to find out what
It's
his
like-
leave is because he didn't take anything.
He tells you that. It's like, what do you? That was. It's like, what do you mean? What was that? That was Lord Strahd.
Right.
Like, how do
We're
you
good
not?
here.
Really?
It's like, what do you? It's like, what do you knew?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are.
actually.
What does it look like?
Yeah.
Who
Like,
is
well-
Strahd?
It's like Lord Strahd Van Zarevich. He is the master of these lands. All of Barovia belongs to Strahd.
Like all
This
of it.
is
or,
all
like,
stuff we already know.
Most of it.
Yeah, considering we were told all this at the house. With
A little
Graf
creepy.
Buren.
Yeah, you kind of glance around and the Vistani, like the three Vistani-looking women, like they seem kind of relieved once Strahd left.
How's this guy doing in the corner here?
I was just about to say, I wanna see this guy. Let's
Do I have
do
to
a-
roll? Do I have to roll like a perception or anything? I guess I will.
I'm better than I did.
So you see him. He's got like a glass of wine, and he does seem a fair bit more relaxed now that the strange, rich, pale man, who you also know is like a crazy, strong vampire lord.
Know that?
Yeah, because what's his name would have told you.
Oh, Graf told us. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Graf would have given you the lowdown. Like I didn't really mention it at the time, but he basically also would have said like, yeah, be careful of Strahd. Like, don't fuck with him. He's crazy strong and a vampire and controls everything, basically.
But I thought he was a shell of his former self.
He's a construct, but
Still powerful.
don't forget, like anything that Graf described to you would be the same. Like if he tells you that Strahd is X powerful, that's like the same version of Strahd that he met.
I see.
So
Literally reset to before he showed up.
I gotcha. Tracking.
perhaps he's weaker than the original Strahd that was killed like hundreds of years ago, but
Probably not.
he ain't nothing to fuck with. He's like the Wu-Tang Clan.
Anyways, what's this deal with this guy in the corner?
Yeah, he's sitting there drinking his wine. Seems human.
Like,
It's got a weird
He-
name tag.
Yeah, it seems to,
Around.
well, I take it the Vistani ladies aren't willing to talk, or should we maybe ask them if I introduce myself and hello?
they just sort of give you a nod. They don't really seem too talkative, but they give you a polite nod back when you introduce, like, you say hello.
Okay.
I'm going to order some wine.
Yep. He uncorks like a cask, pours you a thing of wine, asks for a silver.
I'll have to give him a gold and I'll have to break it. Can you break a
I just
gold?
want to ask Eric, like, safe to talk here, or can like Strahd hear everything we say?
He tells you that
I genuinely don't know the answer to that.
He tells you that Lord Strahd has eyes and ears all over this land. Here is no safer than anywhere.
See.
So bad knowing this entire
I
story.
know. I know.
Oh, don't worry. There's a lot of things that I've changed. That
I hope so.
I have based
I know,
this
but-
upon you guys having premeditated knowledge of this thing.
So
Because
full
that-
disclosure, I started this campaign with someone else, but I only got like 3 episodes into it. So
Yeah,
I
well,
basically-
Jez, Wacky,
played it,
Lawaj, and I
yeah.
finished this campaign, so
Oh
I
my
have
goodness,
not played
okay.
it at all, so
yeah, like any sort of pre-knowledge that you have, I chalk up to preparation from Graf.
That's
which-
true. In
But,
that
like,
case, I won't say
specific
anything.
things, like if you remember, it's like, oh, I remember behind this door there's a fucking flame skull waiting. Like if you open the door in my version, it won't be there. Maybe a
No,
mummy will
mine-
be there.
Mine was more. Does he have eyes and ears everywhere,
There,
Donnie?
there was a
Alright.
reason there's a reason why I asked for people who were friendly that he may have met, that Graf may have met.
He told you like not to trust anybody.
Yeah.
Told you that like you'll find few allies in Barovia, but you know, in the end, don't trust anyone. Everyone has their own agenda.
Marissa, what are you doing?
I don't know, just coming over here, warming my butt by the fire because I'm cold. Cold here.
So as you're basically sticking your ass like in the fire and like twerking in front of it, the man seated by himself at the table kind of like looks at you and says, "Seems the lord and master of these lands is taking quite a liking in you."
I don't think he liked us.
Well,
I think you liked me.
it's like the master has a habit of playing with his food before he eats it.
Huh? I didn't see him eating anything here, though.
So he tells it's like, what brings
That's my shtick.
what brings like those such as yourselves to this land?
I'm just gonna kind of like look back at the group and be like, I don't think they like me talking about it. So...
I need an adult. I need an adult.
I need an adult.
I'm like looking at Bones. I'm like, what the fuck
Like,
is
I've kind of
happening
learned
over
by
there?
now that like I should probably keep my mouth shut and just let other people do the talking.
So this guy doesn't seem quite as menacing. He seems a bit friendlier. Well, anything seems friendlier than the strange vampire man that you just talked to.
Yeah, the fucking vampire king.
Yeah.
Just be like, well, I mean, we're new here. No, you first. You first. Who are you?
He just kind of shrugs and boop, boop, boom. Showing to players doesn't work because the thing is not the thing. So he introduces himself as Ismark Kolyanovich. Tells you my father was the burgomaster of the village of Barovia here.
The what master?
The burgomaster. He was,
Okay.
I believe, in other lands they use mayor as a similar title.
Oh, okay.
He's kind of like, he kind of looks at you, and he kind of looks at like your friends, and he's like, perhaps we can be of assistance to one another.
You're gonna ask me to do something, aren't you?
It's, of course. That's how the game is played.
In what game?
Alright, 5 gold, and I touch you. 5 gold.
I don't have any dice.
That's the game, all right. The 5 gold touchy game.
You're like, well, what can you do for us?
It's like, you are obviously quite new to the area. Whatever you're here for, whatever you're looking to accomplish in these lands, you're not going to find much here in the village. But, and I, in fact, am in need of some assistance. Perhaps, you can help me, and I can lead you to a place sort of more suitable to finding the help that you need.
Yeah, I'm gonna insight the shit out of that.
Yep.
Help.
He does seem like you do believe that he needs help with something, and he doesn't seem overly malicious or anything. It does seem like he's almost a little untrusting of you. It seems like whatever he wants done is very important to him, and he's kind of wary about even asking you and your group, but you do seem less... You don't look like Strahd spies to him. You have the air of fish out of water.
Broad food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straw food. They're like, well, yeah, I mean, we're pretty new here, so we could use some friends. You know, what is it you want us to do for you?
He tells you... So, he tells you that Strahd has shown a very keen interest in my sister, Irina. He has become somewhat obsessed with her. I think that is what brought him to the village today. Fortunately for us, he is unable to procure her from our family's home, but she cannot stay there forever. Recently, the house has been subject to attacks from wolves, ghouls, and other fiendish things, to the point where my father's heart finally gave out a couple of days ago. Ever since his death, the attacks seem to have stopped, and now Strahd has been spotted in the town. I mean to find some place safe to take her. I need to get her as far away from him and from his castle as I can. I was planning to take her to the village of Villaki, which is far to the north, nestled in the mountains.
It seems rude, but it seems like Strahd's not the kind of person that accepts no for an answer. What makes you think she would be safe there?
The town of Villaki is a walled settlement, and they have managed to keep him and his minions at bay. There's many more people living there, and it is much more of a bustling town than this shell of whatever it used to be.
Kind of like lean forward to the table and be like, do you think they could help us?
It's like, whatever you're here looking for, I'm sure you'll have much better luck finding it there than here. Like, this town is dead. What few villagers still remain here stay in their homes and talk not to strangers. They basically just have given up and await death. I have no urge to wait until he drags my sister somehow from that house. I wish to get her to safety, but it is a long journey from here to Villaki.
Okay. So, these people in Villaki, they're not friends of Strahd then?
There are people all over this land that owe many things to Strahd, and I would be remiss to tell you that there isn't those people there, but you will find many more people opposed to him than here.
Alright, well...
Whereas a lot of Villaki opposes Strahd, whereas here in the village of Barovia, the only ones who do are me and my sister.
I see. Alright, well...
Also, it has walls.
Good to me.
Also he says he also reads like also it has walls, big ol' walls.
Kind of put me on edge, that Strahd guy. So I'm down with leaving. Sounds good to me. Let me go get my buddies and explain what's what. I'll just kind of like brief everybody, be like, "Hey, I said this is gonna take us to a place that can help, because here in town, this ain't the place we want to be."
Yeah, I get that feeling.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
That's
Alright.
kind of what I said when we came here.
Like, all right, they're down to do it. What is it you want? Are we taking your sister there? Is that the plan?
Yes,
I'm just gonna
my
go over
sister.
there with Bones at this
My
point.
sister is at the south end of town in the Burgomaster's mansion.
Like, you
Yes,
want to go
we'll-
or
Well, yes.
go?
Okay. He stands up, collects his things.
I mean, I don't mess around. I just want to get to it. Let's go.
I finished probably like my second glass of wine by now.
It's quite
Given
good.
that you're 5'10", you're probably drunk.
He's 5'0".
4'10" or whatever you are. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, 4'10".
Okay.
5'10".
So
Sorry. Such an odd thing to say.
Still
Somebody's
there?
4 foot something. It's so
so
weird.
he stands up, like walks to the front and says, it's like if you're all ready to go.
Yep.
He gives
Come
like
on.
he gives a friendly nod to the ladies. Hey, ladies.
You're going.
They basically
I
just
suppose
ignore
we are
him.
going now.
Like they don't really seem all that interested in him or his.
I kind of want to just like whisper, like, "Can you trust those women?"
He tells you it's like, yeah. He tells you there are a few people in Barovia that you can truly trust.
And neither of them are probably his mark.
He just smiles at you and then puts like a friendly hand on your shoulder. He's like, "Don't worry, I don't trust a lot of you either."
Smart move.
Glad we all
Fair
don't
enough.
trust each other.
So
Fair enough.
he leaves and he begins walking south. Let's go back to
We'll walk behind him.
let's go back to the village of Barovia. So he begins walking south towards the large mansion that you can see at the very end of the road. As you get to here, the moaning and crying becomes increasingly loud, and
I
you
wanna ask
believe
about
that it seems to be centered in this this house here. So, like, as you're kind of walking by this one house, you're like, yeah, no, the moaning and the crying, that's coming from there. It's definitely coming from there.
So, yeah, did that go through?
Yeah. A moaning sob floats through the still gray streets, coloring your thoughts with sadness. The sounds flow from a dark two-story townhouse.
Direction.
Same.
Over here.
So who lives there? I'm gonna ask Ismark that.
Bud Light lives there.
He's like,
Me.
yeah, it's Bud Light. He's
Good-
crying.
good
He's
that
crying
he's
because
here.
his auto blow got like lost in shipping.
Oh, I have no batteries.
The funny thing is, Bud Light knows what's in there.
Yeah.
So, you know, as you're walking by, Ismark's like, oh, that's Mad Mary.
What's wrong with her?
So this happens a
Like
lot.
her daughter, you know, she had a daughter named Gertruda. He kept Gertruda, or she kept Gertruda trapped in the house for her whole life. Finally, when Gertruda became a woman, she escaped and has never been seen again. You know, her mother fears the worst, that, you know, she could be, and you know, she could be dead, or perhaps, you know, Strahd has her, or had her, but,
Giggity.
you know, the loss of her daughter has frayed her fragile mind, and she just sits in her house crying till all hours of the
day?
morning. Yep.
Alright.
The porn star I used to know.
Okay then.
So,
Moving on.
So, you continue down to the large mansion at the south of town. A weary-looking mansion squats behind a rusting iron fence. The iron gates are twisted and torn. The right gate lies cast aside while the left swings lazily in the wind. Stuttering squeal and clang of the gate repeats with mindless precision. Weeds choke the grounds and press with menace upon the house itself. Yet, against the walls, the growth has been trampled down to create a path all around the domain. Heavy claw marks have stripped the once beautiful finish of the walls. Great black marks tell of the fires that have assailed the mansion. Not a pane nor shard of glass stands in any window. All the windows are barred with planks, each one marked with stains of evil omen.
No.
Oh. That sucks.
So,
My house.
Ismark, you know, leads you up the steps in front to the door and, like, knocks on it a few times and says, Irina, I believe I have found us an escort to Valaki.
Not bragging me.
So, after a minute, you hear a bunch of, like, unlatching and chains and things moving, and the door swings open, and an auburn-haired woman stands on the other side and sort of motions you all in.
One nipple's bigger than the other.
Have a placard for this person as well?
Yeah, I just gotta find it.
Irina Koryana.
User left your channel.
Fair time.
So, she introduces herself as Irina Kolyana, and you step inside, and the interior of the mansion is well furnished, yet the fixtures show signs of great wear. Noticeable oddities are the boarded-up windows and the presence of holy symbols in every room. You see inside the drawing room on the floor a simple wooden coffin surrounded by wilting flowers and a faint odor of decay.
A coffin.
Yep.
Her
Maybe
father
like-
just died, so.
He did say.
Fair enough.
It's kind of the tradition in the olden days.
I just thought we were upstairs in her room, so
No, yeah, it's in like basically the main entranceway. Yeah, it's
okay.
just
Got
the
it.
coffin's just sitting in the middle of the house.
Oh, okay, that makes much more sense. I thought we were like in her bedroom. I was so confused. Okay, that's much clearer. Sorry.
She's like,
Do we need
she's
to
kind of like looks at
share
the
that?
six of you, and she's like, you're going to accompany us to Valeki.
Apparently,
That's the plan.
Okay.
It's like, well,
I was nearly asleep there
You-
for a
you see
moment,
her-
but, like, I am back now.
you see her like turn to her brother. It's just like, we can't just leave father. It's like, you know what will happen to him if we do not take him to the cemetery first. And you see him, he's just sort of like rolls his eyes and is like, for fuck's sakes. Like, let's go. And she seems adamant. And then she kind of goes over to the paladin-looking guy. And she's like, please,
Hello.
before we depart, we must take my father to the cemetery and have him properly buried. You know, no one from the town was willing to come and help us. You know, he's been here for 3 days interred in this coffin.
Ew.
Bet that's fragrant.
Well, you could smell it when you came in the house.
Yeah, he's probably right by now.
But it's like my brother and I cannot take him by ourselves. Everyone in town refused to help us. It's like, please, before we depart, like, some of you look fairly strong. One of you looks fairly strong.
Hey, one of us.
Yeah, of course.
But if everyone takes a little bit, we can carry him.
Want us to carry him?
Yeah,
You don't have a cart or something?
I guess we can do that.
Carrying the coffin, not the body.
It's a pallbearer. Like,
Yeah.
I know.
You know.
I'm asking though, don't they have a cart? Like, we want us to carry a coffin through town?
It's like,
I mean,
Surely they got a donkey cart or something.
I'm sure they don't have $1.
If they had one, I'm sure they would have used it.
and you're sure if they had one, it would probably be destroyed. Like basically all the surrounding area around the house is like trashed.
Fair enough.
You would imagine it looks like some things were basically attacking the house, and
Does
Ismark.
gas float on the coffin?
Yeah, there you go. Does any of you have a handy haversack
Levitate?
you can just shove it into?
Guess what? What did you want me?
you have
What's
levitate?
that? Levitate. Yeah, levitate.
You know,
Actually,
I think
I think
You
I
do. You have that
Didn't
ritual.
you pick,
I have
didn't you
the.
pick it off like a scroll
yeah,
or
didn't
something?
I learn? Yeah, from the book.
Yeah, I did.
Pretty sure
Yeah,
I
back
did.
at the tower.
Yeah, I do.
No way.
I was gonna say if it was from a book, like that he might have it from that one. I was thinking of because the Necromancer's book he wouldn't have got it from. He got Cloud Kill and something else.
Yeah, this I got Levitate and Earthbind from 2 earlier books.
Yeah, that was the
Cool.
stuff you found in the library. In
the tower.
You can mark that wrong. It should be a level 2 spell, isn't it? I believe it's a level 2 spell.
Hey, that doesn't have a fancy
it is
name.
level 2. I think.
Yeah, it's level 2.
Can that one be cast as a ritual?
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
don't think
look
so,
it up.
no.
No, because
It
you
doesn't
could use
seem
in
like
combat.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure if it's like it's always isn't it always prepared? Is that
You
put it
write
in a
it?
book?
No,
don't
no,
think
no. You
so.
have to prepare spells.
Yeah, you have you'll have a list of spells that you have prepared.
Okay.
You just have more to select.
You guys don't really. There's more than enough of you to easily carry it to the cemetery.
So much
Like-
cooler.
And then
Alright.
Dado doesn't get to waste a spell slot
Yeah.
that he won't use.
Dado doesn't like using his spell slots in combat. You think he's gonna like waste a spell slot moving a box from one side of town to the other?
There's no way to move this spell to level 2 without just completely rewriting it, is it?
Probably not.
Probably
You-
not.
You
You
might
just
be able
keep
to
it there and remember that it's level 2 if you want.
Butt cheeks.
Try-
Yeah, that's fine.
try going to the tab where you can see all spell slots.
Oh, show all.
Yeah, and then
Or at the very beginning of the spell
Then click
description,
modify.
just say it's level 2.
that
Yeah,
doesn't.
No, it's
then-
it's fine. I'll fix it. Irrelevant.
Everybody grab a handle.
So,
I'll pretend to.
handles?
okay.
I don't grab.
I
handles.
also will pretend to.
I'm not.
So the four out of the 6 people carrying it, notice it's a lot heavier than they thought it would be. Because like a third of the people are not actually carrying it.
I'm
Sure, I'll
carrying it.
try.
I mean, I said I wouldn't.
Well, yeah, Jazz
Oh,
and
wait,
Pyro
I don't
are
have a negative
actually carrying it, and then like so are Irina and Ismark.
I mean, divide 200 pounds by like 6 people, and it's
Well,
not that much.
I guess I'm
Be
kind of
more than
carrying
200.
it.
It's 200 pounds would be the body. The casket's probably at least a good.
Well, I didn't think that
fif-
father was a big guy or anything, but that makes sense.
Well, he's average
Yeah, you're
size
probably right.
guy.
It's
It's probably
250, 300 at least.
so. You guys carry it through the town. It takes you like 15, 20 minutes to walk it all the way to the church at the north end of town where the cemetery is. As you're kind of walking, Irina explains I can't express enough like how grateful I am that you're willing to help us and see us safely to Valeki. I hope my brother didn't promise you too much, because I assure you we don't have much.
Damn it! I didn't ask for anything.
Honestly, we don't
Yeah,
expect
we-
much,
We
really.
didn't ask.
I was actually asleep at that point, so I have no idea what they offered us.
I just figured he would show us the way to the other town. It's good enough for me.
It's like, well, then we're in agreement. It's like once we get farther there, we'll make our way out. It's too late in the day now for us to make it all the way there. But there is a camp, a Vistani camp, next to the Sur River, that we could stay at for the night and be fairly safe. Much safer than we would be here.
Okay,
So,
You know this place better than we do.
Sounds good.
make it so, number one.
so she takes you to the church.
Take me to church.
Oh,
Focus.
Goes.
yeah, some of them are large maps. Okay, there you go. So the chapel is in shambles, with overturned and broke. Oh, that's the interior. You want the actual. Atop a slight rise against the roots of a pillar stone that supports. Against the roots of the pillar stone. Blah blah. So, yeah, atop a slight rise stands a gray and sagging edifice of stone and wood. This church has obviously weathered the assaults of evil for centuries on end and is worn and weary. A bell tower rises towards the back, and a flickering light shines through holes in the shingled roof. The rafters strain feebly against their load. So, the heavy wooden doors of the church, you notice, as you sort of approach, are covered with claw marks and scarred by fire.
I'll ask Ismark and Irina, like, what god do they pray to here?
They tell you that, we have forgotten most of the lords or most of the gods and deities of our people. Many people in Barovia, though, worship the Morning Lord, Lathander.
Ooh.
Or perhaps she calls it Lathander!
Sounds nice.
Lavender.
Alright, well,
Yeah, Lavender. Lavender, the...
I'll knock on the door.
Overjoyed if you join the Church of the Thunder.
I
So
guess I
you-
can test the handle.
It doesn't seem to be locked.
Or I'll open it.
Okay. You swing, the doors open.
I mean, the church is in booby trap, but I guess you never know.
You never know. The doors open to reveal a 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hall leading to a brightly lit chapel. The hall is unlit and reeks of mildew. 4 doors, 2 on each side of the hall, lead to adjacent chambers. You can see that the chapel is strewn with debris, and you hear a soft voice from within reciting a prayer. Suddenly, the prayer is blotted out by an inhuman scream that rises up from beneath the wooden floor.
What the?
Sounds about right.
Explain that one.
Okay. Like, hello, friend, I guess?
So I turn around.
If I'm
I look at
following
those two, I
Bones,
go like,
I wanna
should we
leave him
go
alone.
Back or
So, the chapel is a shambles with overturned and broken pews littering the dusty floor. Dozens of candles mounted in candlesticks and candelabras light every dusty corner in a fervent attempt to rid the chapel of shadows. At the far end of the church sits a claw-scarred altar, behind which kneels a priest in soiled vestments. Next to him hangs a long, thick rope that stretches it up into the bell tower. So, you guys sort of start walking in and approaching, and you see, like, this portly man.
When you started to describe that, I thought you meant that he was getting ready to hang himself.
same?
I think it's the bell tower rope.
Yeah.
So, You remember from the walk up. I will say that Irina mentioned to you that the priest was named Donovich. She might have mentioned that to you on the walk up. So as you kind of like approaching him and kind of looking around the place, you hear another sort of voice cry out from, like again, you hear a voice cry out from beneath the floorboards, and it says, it seems to be a young man's voice, and it cries out, "Father, I'm starving."
Ooh.
That's slightly concerning.
Yeah, that's creepy. Like, do you have someone downstairs? I guess I should introduce myself first. I'll introduce myself first. As I'm kind of looking at him like, I don't want to like let on that I know that there's somebody downstairs, but I know that there's somebody downstairs.
I'm sure he knows that you know.
I don't
Okay.
think he's trying to hide it.
We're just kind of like trying to ignore the elephant in the room, just be like, yeah, so,
How's the
I'm
weather? You know.
I'm Marissa. These are my pals, I guess.
So Donovich looks up, kind of like slowly
really
looks up
sorry.
at you,
And
and
this is
says,
the dog from Muppets.
he says, it's like, my name is Donovich. I am the town's, I'm the town's priest. I live and take care of this chapel. It's like, what can I do for you?
We have one dead Anna Cooley.
This is Whisper to Wash. This is
What?
Not very well, apparently.
Apparently not.
What? We're here to bury someone. The burgomaster?
He says, Colin Indirovich. He has died then.
His name is Colin.
Apparently 3
His
days
name's
ago.
Kolyan. Kolyan.
calls him Colon.
I gotta get your mind around these Eastern
He's
European
basically
names.
his
You gotta
first
hear
name
about
is very similar to the last name of his son and daughter.
Got it.
Because essentially the way the names in this place work is like their last name is like son of Kolyan and daughter of Kolyan, which is why they're slightly different last names between Ismark and Irina.
Poliana kind of sounds like "eat me" in Arabic. Just thought I'd put that out there.
I
Awesome.
actually knew a name.
Thanks,
A
Mark.
girl
That's going to
named-
become terribly appropriate here very soon.
Is it a girl? No, I knew a guy named Kolyana.
So
Well, I'll just tell him, be like, we're here to, yeah, he knows we're here to bury the guy. So, do we just put him out back, or what do you want us to do?
he's like, it's like, yes, I can perform the proper funeral rites. We should take him to the cemetery. And he sort of like gets up and he starts kind of slowly kind of hobbling over. And again, you hear like a scream from underneath the floorboards. And you hear, he's like, "Please, Father, I'm starving."
I gotta ask.
Could we be worried about that?
Yeah.
You have guests.
Is it dinner time?
So he kind of like looks
I'm
at the
not
lot of
reading all
you
of that, Jez.
and says, "Ignore that. It is just my son."
You have your
Sounds
son.
hungry.
Are you starving your son?
He
Maybe
tells
we shouldn't ask.
Yeah, I stand on him. Yep.
says, "My son is not." He tells you he's not really my son anymore.
Oh. Did he come out to you?
Yes.
Damn.
There's the Barovia is actually like really. It's kind of southeast, like Faerun. He tells you that. What was it? A year ago? A little more than a year ago, my son and several other villagers stormed Castle Ravenloft in revolt, having been lured there by a wizard in black robes who had come to Barovia from a faraway land. By all accounts, the wizard died by Strahd's hand, and I thought Doru had as well, along with all the other villagers who attempted to rebel against him. And then, as some kind of spiteful joke, my son was returned to me, forever changed and twisted by Strahd. There's nothing you can do for him. It's like, come, let us bury your dead. And he, like,
Stop the
leaves.
screaming.
You want to put him down?
So
Let's do the burying thing first.
So basically, he goes. He helps take the casket into the graveyard north of the chapel, and then he starts performing like the funeral rites. They take him to like an open grave. There are several like already dug. He takes the casket to one, and you know 4 of you kind of all help like lower it down with some ropes. And then he begins performing, like, the funeral rites, and Irina and Ismark sort of stand by this as well. Like, so the 3 of them basically stand over the casket in the ground there, as Donovich performs his priestly funeral rites. The rest of you are free to stand around and watch, or wait, or do whatever you want.
Yes. Wait.
Pyro can tell you it'll probably be like an hour or more to finish these sort of funeral rites. Him being a paladin, he kind of gets it. He's like, yeah, it's gonna take like an hour or so. We got time.
I was not aware it was going to take that long.
I'm probably not gonna
Do you
stand
want to
around,
go kill his
but
son?
I don't
You
know
don't
if we
just like go kill people's sons.
I don't know if we should. I
Not
mean, we
really
should.
his son anymore.
I mean,
though.
you would probably
Yeah.
want to, of all people.
But you know, he would ask us to do that. I imagine if he wanted us to, right?
So the 6 of you guys are just like you're discussing
I
this in
don't- I'm
front
not
of the church.
No, I'm not standing around, but I'm not.
You're a good like
Doing
several
anything.
hundred feet away from where the funeral is being presided upon. Like it's way on the other side of the cemetery, so it's not like he's looking at you guys from like 10 feet away, but like, what you doing? What you guys doing?
I probably wouldn't have known better, and I probably would have stayed with the funeral. 'Cause,
Okay.
I mean,
Eh.
what else am I gonna do?
Irina's there. Ismark's there. Jez is there.
I'll
So-
just wait on the steps here. Start meditating. Just chill and meditate right here.
I'll come back in here.
So, you hear like crying, and you hear inhuman screams, sort of mixed in with like childlike crying, almost as if
I'm
like
gonna turn
whatever
around
seems
and
to be
walk
making
right
them
back
kind of
out.
knows that somebody or something's there. Occasionally calls out, just like, Father, is that you? Please.
I was following Wacky inside, and I was just like, nope, just gonna leave.
I'm not even in the right place, Pyro.
Yeah, I don't want to interfere with
I
that.
It's like, if we just kill him, what if he comes back and he's pissed?
Why would
Or-
you keep
or it
him
would just
chained
be-
up down there, or wherever the hell he is?
It's the sun.
Underneath the floorboards somewhere, for sure. I mean, he did say we can't do anything for him, but I don't want to, like, just go kill him, and then the priest comes back and he's like, the fuck did you do?
Well, I mean, we don't have to kill him.
We can't cure him.
We kill him or we leave him down there. That's our 2 options.
Oh, this is awkward.
I don't want to touch it.
Then again,
What if he breaks out and kills
Yeah.
the entire town?
then again.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's true. It's not really safe, so.
I feel like any time we've ever tried to do something like that, we just end up fucking it up. You know what I mean? Like, it's always something where it's like, oh, we gotta go help them. Oh, wait, they were secretly bad. Like, fuck. Like, I feel like that always happens. You know?
You know what? I'm gonna go look at one of the doors. I realize that one of my character traits is I like mystery, so Why not? I'm gonna try to open this door over here. Don't fucking touch me.
You
Anyway.
see, time and neglect have punched holes in the ceiling of this moldy room, which contains a few broken roof shingles amid puddles of water. In one corner, set into the floor, is a heavy wooden trap door held shut with a chain and padlock. A young man's screams of anguish can be heard through the door.
Where's Pyro? I'm gonna go to
I
Pyro. Or who's hanging out? Everybody but Jez?
Think so.
I am busy making a dance.
He's
What?
trying to summon Satan, apparently.
I'm gonna go to Bones now instead of Pyro. Hey, there's a trap door in one of the rooms
You
over
know,
there.
like,
You can go take a look at what's
in
underneath
a
the
game, you're,
floorboards
like,
if we're really
like,
interested.
The person on your team is like just spinning around, just like up and down, just wildly. That's Pyro right now.
I'll go with you if you want company.
Might be for the best.
I will say that, like, Pyro, you have noticed, like, ever since you've sort of, entered this land, that you feel kind of, like, cold inside. Like, something is missing. You kind of feel like you've lost your connection with your god. And that kind of troubles you. You don't believe that it's going to really affect your powers gameplay-wise, because that'd be a little OP and broken, but you definitely feel like you've lost, like, your connection to your god. And that, being that you're a divine character, like, that deeply troubles you.
Yes, that does trouble me.
That you basically feel cut off from them. Which is, yeah. That definitely seems troubling, because even when you're in, like, the Shadowfell and all those other crazy places you were at, you still had that connection. But, like, here, it's like something's just completely sealed off. Like, you're completely sealed off from them.
That's how you summon a demon.
God
I'm gonna
damn.
go to Dusty and also tell him we're gonna go check something out in here if you would like to come along. Is that gonna be a no?
Yes, I think you broke my cameras with that. I don't know how, but I think you did. Yeah, I'm gonna come with you, Wacky.
I'm asking Dusty. Just chilling outside.
I'm doing family things, even though my religion doesn't care about most things.
Oh, there it
Do
is.
you want to cast light on us so we can see?
Oh right, you're human.
Wow,
sh-
jeez.
Kind of dark in
Sure.
here for me. Those silly humans.
Just give it a minute. I like the dim light. If you can still see, we're fine.
Okay, so you're not giving them light?
I'm just gonna be
Cancel.
like,
Not yet.
I don't know where you guys are.
Can they Bones? Can you just actually not see?
I
Yeah,
can see
not
that.
really.
I can see about a foot around my character.
All right, fine. I'll give it to
I
Pyro.
can see this much far in front of me.
Yeah, I'll give it to
I'm
Pyro
about
then.
All players see light. Bloop.
Yay!
I'm gonna go and test the thing. Trapdoor, that's what it's called.
It seems to be
Unlocked.
very visibly locked by a chain and padlock. Due to the fact the chain is being held together by a padlock, you would imagine it is locked.
You want to break that open? Then again, we do have a rogue, don't we? Sometimes I forget.
I don't blame you.
Thieves' tools. Yeah, so you jiggle around in it, and after a couple of minutes, you manage to get the lock open. It doesn't seem like the most complex lock in the world, but it did gave you a bit of trouble, but just took some time, and eventually, click, you get the lock open.
And back up.
I will open the door.
I'll go first. Sneak down there.
So, Bones, you give the door a pull, and the trapdoor seems to be swollen and stuck in its frame. You figure it's going to take a good amount of strength to yank that thing open.
But what do
Back
you
up and be
know?
like, hey, I got a strong guy. Like, I need your help, Jafar. We're stuck. Can you hustle it, please?
What are you
Dado,
perceiving
I
for,
asked you if
Dusty?
you wanted to come along. I asked Dusty if you wanted to come with us.
My perception is that I didn't know that you guys went inside.
Oh my god, I'll go back.
Well,
up. I'm
they
like,
did
"That's Dusty, I'm
they
worried."
did specifically tell you that they were going in there. Like, to the
Dusty.
point that Wacky was even like, hey, Dusty, we're going to go do this. Dusty?
I was daydreaming.
I can tell
So we
you
found
you're
we
like
found a
space.
trapdoor.
It's really nice out here.
It is
Like,
nice.
just being old.
The fog is very ominous. It's nice. The encroaching, everlasting fog.
You pyro a pat on the back. You mind opening that up for us?
Yeah. Sorry, somewhere real quick. Do I need to do anything?
Strength
Check
check.
for it, or just open it?
Strength check. Bones tried to open it. It was stuck. Yeah, so you hear like a loud crunching as Pyro just kind of tears the trapdoor free.
Whoops.
Oh wait. How far away? Just real quick. How far away did you say Jez was?
Oh, good ways. Probably a few hundred feet.
Sorry. Continue. I'm looking for something.
Well, that's basically it.
Going inside.
Oh, there is no scale. 20.
So,
I'll be the first one to go down there. I'll try to stealth though.
why don't you let the guy with the light go?
No.
And the shield
Let,
and the
let me
shield.
go.
Alert
Let me go look
everything.
first. Yeah, let me go look.
Jez
It's
is
dark.
probably about 300 feet from the rear of the church. Give or take.
Nope, he's gone then.
So somebody's going... Yeah, so as you tear that thing open, it leads
go
to
down.
a wooden staircase that descends 15 feet into a dark undercroft.
+9 and a roll of 3. Well, I'm trying to go down stealthily.
Okie dokie. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna put you here in the grass. I zoomed in too far. So,
after you, Jafar.
God.
I'm gonna wait for Wacky to
So,
give us a
Wacky,
clear sort of
the
thing.
church's undercroft has rough-hewn walls and a floor made of damp clay and earth. Rotting wooden pillars strain under the weight of the wooden ceiling. Candlelight from the chapel above slips through, just like not quite enough to illuminate the area, but enough that you can kind of see sort of shadows moving around up there. If like you can kind of make out where your friends are kind of standing, but it's not really enough to light your way. You also see, you get the vague sense of a dark shape huddled in the corner on the very far side of the room. Oh yeah, allowing you to glimpse a gaunt shape in the far corner.
Try this again. Try to get to the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah, his passive wouldn't be that high. Okay,
Since I'm
so-
probably not going to get to use this any other time, I would like to use my Cloak of Shadows to go invisible at this point.
Okay.
Go ahead and walk around over here, see if I get a better look at it.
You see a gaunt, wiry, thin, pale young man that's just kind of like huddled. He looks really disheveled, and his skin looks like really pale and kind of gross, like almost ghoul-like. And he's just kind of huddled in the corner, like crying. So he doesn't seem to be like inhuman. Like he doesn't seem to be like a ghoul where he's just like a feral beast. He does seem to be a thinking human being of some kind. But yeah, he doesn't look right. Doesn't look right. Looks very
I guess-
malnourished and unhealthy, and it's like yeah. And
I mean,
yeah.
we've seen vampires before. Can I just tell that that's what it is?
You guys have fought a couple vampire spawn, so yeah, you imagine that this might be a vampire spawn, and that might have been what Strahd had turned the boy into. You
Hey,
think
then with that, I'm gonna
So
be back,
you-
but sorry.
Yeah, you think that, that obviously then he's malnourished by the fact that, like, he hasn't been able to feed off of blood for a long time.
Well, that explains it.
It seems like his father sort of chained him up down, like, basically locked him down here somehow, and basically doesn't know what to do with him.
Yep, then I will go back up and tell them. Yeah, he's a vampire. I mean, you don't like those things, right, Pyro?
I don't think I'm a fan.
I don't think I'm a fan.
I don't
You're
think I'm a
paladin,
fan.
You're not a fan.
This. Yeah, so the kid's a vampire.
Oh, there's his
and
passive right
I don't
there.
know what we want to do with him. I don't know what the father wants
Like,
to do with him, but
Exactly, he's like some dude's kid. I don't
Did
want to
he
just
see
go
you?
around killing this guy's
No.
kid.
I went invisible
Okay.
because
In
otherwise
fact-
I will have no other use
Yeah,
for this cloak.
In fact, like, Wacky basically, like, you didn't even see her, like, walking back up until all of a sudden she just kind of blinked into existence at, like, the top of the stairs.
Can I put the trapdoor back?
Not as well as it was, but you could definitely put it back somewhat. Like,
I will
it's going to be
do
really
that.
tough to close because it was because the door was swollen into the frame. It's not going to go back in, but you could kind of maybe like wedge the get the chain and the lock back around it. But yeah, it'll never be as sealed as well as it was.
Okay, let's do that, Lodge. Relock it.
But all you do is close it to
No,
relock
No.
it.
Why are we relocking it? We should probably do something about it.
Well, I don't want to. It's this guy's kid. If we go and we kill him, this guy will be angry at us, and then we have
But
to kill
he's
him
a
too.
vampire.
Say enough time went by that Jez eventually did wander
I will
back.
point out,
Yeah.
just
Just-
meta game, I guess. Like you're a paladin and you have a
Yeah,
undead
that's why
hating
I've
sword.
been. That's why I've been like
Just
talking to
pointing
you.
it out that his feelings are probably not your first concern. But then again, you play your character however you want to.
We can't just leave a vampire underneath this church. Especially now that we've like, well, I guess technically it was my fault, but now that we've pulled up this door.
Even as a paladin, it doesn't feel like the right thing to do.
What
Save
does
the
the
world
world
and
need
the
to
undead.
do?
God damn it.
Okay,
Killing
that's-
this dude's
that's fine.
kid.
That's fine.
We're like, Jez, what do you think? Jez, he's not even here.
I mean, I'm.
Yeah,
true
Jez is standing in the
so
doorway.
I have no
Unless you
take
don't
on
care.
any of this at all. Like, I just want to just look out for myself.
We're not going
You meant
anywhere
not the
else.
computer, but I don't know what you guys are yelling about.
Tell
There's a
what?
vampire under the floorboards here.
Didn't he kind
We
of say
can-
that?
That his son was
Just-
underneath.
And that we couldn't do anything for him. But at the very least, we can stop the
We
screaming.
can tell him that we can do something for him. We can put him out of his misery if he would like us to. Because, like, from one holy guy to another, this is not something you should have.
Well,
A
This is not
vampire.
something-
well, we gotta move quick then if we're
Well-
gonna do it.
Well, you don't think that he's probably too on board the kill my son train, otherwise, because he basically just like sealed him in the basement as
Yeah,
opposed
no
to
shit.
Mm-hmm.
as
'Cause
opposed
he
to
would've
trying to
killed
kill
by
him.
now.
Well, assuming
That-
you're assuming he has
That's
the
where
means
I'm.
to.
That's where I'm a little,
Iffy.
Hey, let's maybe stay out of this dude's business. I don't know.
As a true neutral character would say.
Yeah.
I feel like I would probably just like go talk to him and tell him
And-
like, yo, from one holy man to another.
And again, to metagame,
Not cool.
every time we do something off the
User
beaten
entered your
path,
channel.
we get fucked up.
I think this is one of those situations where like we need to either like take the initiative and say, you know, they're evil and wrong and cleanse the world kind of thing, or don't. Like we can't play the game like trying to please everybody because that
User
never
in your
works.
channel
Obviously,
timed out.
Well, yeah.
I'm just
We
saying.
should
I say
like
we do it. We haven't
let
stopped.
this guy.
We haven't stopped at it
I
before,
think-
you know.
I think we should let this old guy make his own mistakes.
We're here to do a job, and I don't want the integrity of that job getting messed up because we decided to go try to do something, and inadvertently.
But we're not going to be leaving for a little bit.
We're not going to be what?
We're not leaving for a little bit. We have time to do it, you know. It's not like we're wasting time.
No, I know, but I'm just
I
saying.
mean,
if
you
we
could be
do-
here forever.
If we do something, if we affect our mission in some way by doing whatever we're doing here,
We're
no
screwing it
bueno.
up. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
Who's to say
I got
that
you.
it will?
I'm feeling you. I feel you.
you know. So
Alright, I mean, most people don't
I'm-
want to kill this child, so okay.
I mean,
How old did the thing look?
I need.
It's like
a
an
ba-
18-year-old kid.
I
It's
need
like
a better
20.
argument. I need a much better argument.
I'm
You leave it
pretty.
down there, it could possibly get out and kill the entire town.
That's
Evil
what I'm worried
undead.
about.
It's literally a vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've seen this before. We've seen what they can do, you know.
Really
Yeah,
much
one almost killed Pyro.
Yeah, they almost killed
he's a
Pyro.
little sick, he could die.
I have no idea about
He's
this.
literally
I was not
evil.
here.
Yeah,
You almost
they
shot
all
this
just
whole time.
they all decided you were going to attack a vampire instead of trying to like escape from its grasp. So I made you attack it, and you did a bunch of damage, and then it like took like a third of your life away.
You didn't die. It's okay.
He was getting down there. I think he had barely any health
See what
left,
these
and
things could do.
lose
Eventually,
a
it's gonna
chunk of
get
his
hungry
health.
enough that it just busts out and tries to eat people, you know.
Or maybe it's just a giant puss. And
User
it'll never
joined
get
your
out.
channel.
Somehow, I don't believe that.
The,
He hasn't
believe it
gotten
here.
out yet.
the problem is
Yeah.
with the lord of this entire realm being a vampire. I'm pretty sure there's more than just one of these guys.
I am the Lord.
Cocklord.
I don't know. But I also want to decide soon because we're closing in on 4 hours.
Closing my dick
And
for
I've
hours.
been incredibly out of it all fucking day, and I just want to go sleep.
I'm down.
Well, you know what I want to do, so.
I mean, if you're all voting to do it, like, what the fuck am I gonna do?
I feel
Fucking do
I
it!
feel like I'm not though. It's like me and
I
Wad.
feel like we're voting to not
Like
do it.
Shia LaBeouf fucking.
Ooh, okay, well, what's the tally?
That's
What's the
really
tally
offensive.
right now for do it versus
4 to
not
2.
4 do it, 2 not do it?
No, the other way around.
The other way.
So
No.
4 not do
I
it,
would
2 do
probably
it.
honestly be for it because I'm not a fan of the undead.
So it's
And
3
3 and 3.
That's 3-3. God damn it.
Yeah.
I'll
Should have brought
do
the
it
dragon
if
with you
I
to break
talk
ties.
the guy first,
Then
and I
go.
tell
Go
him.
right
Yeah.
now.
Then
Go talk.
go
How
talk
about
to
at
him
least
right
we
now.
find out what the hell's going on instead of just being like, hey, shank.
We know what's going
Sure.
on. His son got turned into a vampire and he locked him up under the church.
I know, but
Yeah,
I want to get some info from the son's perspective. That's what I mean.
He's a
He's
vampire.
not
He's
gonna
gonna
talk
eat
to us.
you.
You could go down there and ask him. Like
Yeah,
that's
you could go ask him if
like
you'd
that's
like.
how you get info from the son's perspective. You'd have to go down there and ask the son.
You dumb.
There is no perspective. He's been turned. That's it.
He's a turned vampire. Like his perspective is he wants to eat you.
Especially 'cause
There's
he's
There's
been
the reason I
dragging
went invisible down
forever.
there.
Does what? Oh, you said there's a reason you went invisible.
Yeah, like I'm saying that to Dado. Like I don't want that thing seeing me. We go down there and try to talk to it. It's just gonna eat us. Beyond reason at this point.
It was chained up and shit, right?
No, it was just curled up in the corner. The chains in that are the trap door here. Basically, he got it downstairs somehow, and then like sealed the trap door and chained it. And it seems like the fact that the
In
doors
that
had time
case-
to swell and seal itself, it's been down there for a while. Months, maybe, if not longer.
Yeah, so he's not getting out.
Well,
Bruh.
Well, we just opened the door though.
Well, it's not.
Well, good job.
Good job, you fucking ass.
What could I say? I love a good
User
mystery.
left your channel.
I'm gonna grab some wood.
Yeah, and you know what mine?
Anything
You
heavy
know,
I can find.
you know what my thing is?
Just-
You know what my fucking
Being a
bond is?
grouchy
It is
old
my
man?
duty to protect my students whether they want me to or not.
We're your
I'm
students.
gonna
This
start
penis.
piling more heavy things on top of this trapdoor.
Alright,
So
well,
are you
let's just- let's get on.
so you're chaining it back up?
yeah, we're leaving it alone then. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to do it.
Are you gonna at least put the chain back, or
Yes.
Shaking
put
my
the chain
head.
back.
Yes,
Okay.
of course we are.
I'm just checking?
So let's get on with the RP and get done with the funeral and go. 'Cause
Yep.
we got like 5
So you-
minutes left.
Yeah. So you chain it back up. You guys do whatever. I don't know if you want to fucking wait around outside or whatever you're trying to do.
I
Do
would
you guys
prefer
wanna
to wait
talk to the
around
guy?
outside.
But
I
after a
wanna hang out
while,
here.
Irina, Ismark, and Donovich. Actually, you know what? Irina and Ismark come back alone. Donovich stays behind to do the actual burying. And they come back, find you guys. It's like, okay, we're ready to leave. Donovan's back there shoveling dirt onto our father. We're ready to leave if you are.
Sorry for your loss.
It's like it's
Like,
it's a part of living in this land. He would be happy to know that we are. He would be happy to see us safe. So that the best thing we can do for my father's memory is to get us to Valeki.
Let's go.
And then I suppose we should be going.
my whole thing was like, if we talk to the guy and I tell him like, yo, this is wrong, we have to take care of this, I will kill him.
David, you don't think he's going to give you permission to kill him? Like the fact that he's leaving his son alive in his basement is.
Everybody else wants
Ye-
to leave it alive.
What he's saying is we're gonna have to piss off the priest to kill the son. So
Yeah.
fine, let's just leave it be. Dado is right in the sense that we do have a job to do here. Let's not stay any longer than we have to.
Hey, if we fail, he'll just come back, and then he'll
User
have his son
disconnected
in the
from your
basement
channel.
again.
It's
He's
true.
Donovan's in the back, right? So he's not like on our way out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no.
User joined your
Donovich
channel.
is like way on the other side of the cemetery, burying the casket. Like he's shoveling dirt. And you guys can wait a
I'm just
couple
gonna
hours.
leave a really angry note over there beside on like his table, like this is wrong, and just leave.
Yep. You gonna sign it or just leave it blank?
I wonder who else
Yeah,
could
I'll
have written it. Maybe it was this other random group of
It
adventurers.
could be anybody from the town, maybe.
Mhm.
Well, nobody from the town really seems to give a shit about anything. So
Yeah, I'll sign it. Who gives a shit?
I don't
the
think
hell
you
is
introduced
there?
yourself to him anyway, so he probably
Who
wouldn't
the
be like,
hell
what
is
the
Jafar?
fuck's a Jafar?
I don't even know what Jafar is.
They signed Paladin.
So
Oh,
I've
no.
heard one name.
you guys make your way out of the town and start walking west along the Svalich Road. You begin your journey along the old Svalich Road across the river towards the Vistani encampment where you will spend the night, and that is where we will leave things for tonight because it is getting kind of late. So thank you to all you guys for sticking around and watching. We will be back next week with more of this wonderful, cheery jaunt through the beautiful land of Barovia, full of all sorts of cheerful things and happy people. It's going to be great. It's going to be a feel-good
Everything is
episode.
alive.
Like stat.
Lol. Before we go, did we miss any XP from the wyvern or anything like that? I can't remember.
No.
I'll
I don't think
work
we
it
got
out
XP
after.
for the wyvern.
Yeah.
For the wyvern, I don't think so. I'll work it out
you
after
gave
the
us
session.
100.
We got 100 from.
No, 100
the
was for
harpies.
your.
That was from the harpies.
something
For
else.
the harpies. I didn't give it to you for the wyvern, so I'll work that
Yes.
out once I sign this off.
We're
So-
at 7155.
So, see you guys next week. I don't think I have anything else other than that. Join us next time. Feel good episode in Barovia. See you guys.